wildlife watching or hiking or maybe sightseeing or even winter camping, the majority of our Nebraska state park areas are available to you. Just need your state park permit and money for those camping fees. Hope to see you. I'm Greg Wagner, Nebraska Game and Parks.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like.
Crossover. Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover. It just crossed him over. Nastily. Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
All right, time for the crossover. It's brought to you by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Wow.
Josh, what the heck happened? What is...
Wait, is my mic on? Can you guys hear me?
I can't really hear you.
Okay. Wait, can you hear me on?
You're on.
No.
I can hear you.
You can't hear yourself?
No.
Yeah, you're not making any sounds.
All right. We'll work on that.
Well, we're crossing over here as Connor Happer tries to figure out
maybe
his
all those
mic
wires
situation.
you unplugged.
Yeah,
before
did you
the
unplug a wrong
crossover
wire
started.
here, Happer?
Unplug nothing.
Happer, did you screw over the microphone as worse as you did that Let It Fly halftime show guy? Who got?
No,
who
he
got,
can't even defend himself.
Who got the boot worse? The microphone
I'll
you
speak
mangled?
for you.
I can't hear
How about
you.
I speak
The
for
microphone you mangled, or the guy who made the half
you? Well,
court
I
shot?
have no.
Can you hear me?
I can't.
No.
I
Okay.
can't hear you.
So you just sit there and I'll explain what happened and then you tell me if I'm right or not.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. When you're in one of these contests, you come and you sign a waiver.
Yeah.
And you agree to all the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And,
That's right.
and so, you go through the contest and if you win, because there's an insurance policy that you take out and they videotape it
You got it.
and you have to follow the entire letter of the law.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you don't, even if you win, you don't get the prize. But then someone whose name is attached to the contest comes in and they take care of the person that kind of got screwed by the host who was like, hey, stand on the line.
Yeah.
Stand on the line and shoot.
No.
And so-
Oh, now your mic works.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, that's good. Okay,
No.
just I'll point to you when you can.
Yeah.
This is
You're
we're
like
we're in court here.
You're like Peter Brand in Moneyball. When we point to you, you can talk. Okay.
No, but I can't.
Okay. No, Connor is currently nodding his head yes,
sure
saying
seems
yeah, I
that way, bud.
understand it. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead, Gary. While Connor sits here and agrees to
I
what
already
we're
tried
saying.
that.
Hello?
Now, you were able to use that microphone during the show today,
Well,
I
yeah,
assume?
because we were brought up on the board. I couldn't control my own mic.
Try when it was on before.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, hey, that's good.
Okay, why
Why did that
Check.
happen?
Never
Check.
been like that before.
Okay, now the buttons don't work anymore, but that's okay.
We leave for the weekend and
It literally
things
worked
change.
2 seconds before we went on the
Serenity
air.
now.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to be saying those things.
Serenity now. Here we go.
All right, so everything I was saying was correct. The Chiefs are going to be in pursuit of the third straight Super Bowl.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
I was also right about how let it fly shootout worked out, right?
You are right to a point. You almost brought it home, and then you threw me under the bus at the end.
You said,
Here's the
stand
deal.
here on the line and shoot at the line, and you'll get the money if you make your shot. That's what you said.
So, like you explained, Gary, there are certain rules that you have to play by.
Parameters.
Including but not limited to your foot can't be on the line and you have to complete the challenge in 30 seconds and you only get one half court shot. No matter what, you only get one half court shot. Doesn't matter if you shoot it with 6 seconds left, you only get one. Our contestant at the women's game on Saturday got 2. He made it on the second, at which point his foot was on the line and it was late.
Was he? Did the clock already expire?
It did, and you could check the tape on that one, and we'll check the tape on the show today. And he made it, and it was the best moment of the game, and it was going into the fourth quarter. It was the biggest pop of the game by far.
And then on the court, did you have to wave it off on the court?
That's what I wasn't going to do, Matt.
Okay,
I was.
No good.
I just
Chiefs win. Chiefs win.
Feel like in that moment I was prepared to get booed out of the building.
Yeah,
I wasn't ready.
So you did the mob thing, and you brought him to the back, and you go, "Listen here, kid. All right, this is how business is done."
That's
okay?
Right. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we told him, we're like, hey, we got it. You know, we got the tape here. You didn't win.
He thought he was.
He was spread pretty quickly.
It did.
He was not a winner.
It did.
He thought he was becoming a made man.
We went back out to do a different thing in the fourth quarter, and the local media who were taping it on the baseline, they were like, "So what did he win?" We're like, "Well, he didn't win anything because he didn't win." And so then all the people were like, "Well, correction, he didn't win." And then it was like, "What? That's garbage. That's crap." And so then I was really happy to see later that Let It Fly, who's a great sponsor, came through and we're like, "Hey, we're gonna pay. We're gonna pay it out. Good job by them." Some people still know how business is done.
Great,
as Matt McMaster would say.
Absolutely.
It was. I'm glad we had a resolution to that.
So how much was it?
$7,000.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can do 10 hands of blackjack.
Okay.
Seven.
You have a problem. Our friend.
Oh yeah, Mike.
Our
I'm
friend
sorry.
Bet Free Mike wants to talk to you.
I washed my pants with Mike's business card in them. Mike, I'm sorry. I need a new business card.
Here's the thing.
Mr. Plus 1100 parlays washed his business card.
Oops.
I washed my pants.
Actually, it's not gambling if you win.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll introduce you to Mike.
Yeah. You talked to Mike. Mike stopped by the Hope Lodge. He was a good enough person to bring by some toilet paper and things like that for the Hope Lodge on Friday, which is great. And he said, "I think I need to talk to your boy Matt." And I said, "I think you're right."
Well, I did. I don't know if I should tell the story or not. But
well, if it, you just know that you're telling it to Matt.
I had
or Mike
the best first date of my life, and in part it was because.
Is this true?
It was.
What are you looking at me? We didn't.
It was.
What's her name, lady?
Gary, do you want me to validate that? Yes, you guys had a good first date out together.
Gary, can you confirm?
We went. We were grabbing drinks, and then she had mentioned that. Yeah, I go to the casino with my family on Christmas.
What's her name? Katie?
I'm not going to say her name on the air.
Is it a normal name? Or?
Yes. It's not Melanomia or anything like that. It's like it's a normal name, and it's not like
I don't think they call her Melanomia.
It's not like
of country.
It's not like we named her baby Felony. It's not like
no. I don't think anybody would do that.
But she had mentioned that, and I go, "Oh, you like going to the casino?" And she's like, "I love people watching at a casino." And I go, "Oh, well,
and then she watched you."
Wait, so I go, "Oh, I like going to a casino." And she's like, "Do you want to go right now?" And I go, "Yeah, I would love to." And so we went, and then I went on blackjack, and then I was a gentleman. I took my winnings, and I gave it to her, and we went. We played slots. We had a great time.
That's great.
Can we play a guess her name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it 2 words?
It is 1 word.
One name.
Mandy.
No.
What letter does it start with?
No, we're not getting there.
Brittany,
Nope.
Classy
Tiffany?
or trashy?
Brenda, Letitia,
Candace.
Rashida. No.
Yeah.
Nope.
What
What are you gonna do? Like Mark Wahlberg from Ted?
Yes.
Allie.
So let's
Yeah.
rattle off.
Allie, good one. Was it Allie?
And not Allie.
Let's
Yeah.
do speed round here.
Allison.
Okay.
Any
No.
form of Allie.
No.
All right, you
No
ready?
form of Allie.
You ready?
Yep.
Brandy, Heather,
Nope.
Channing,
Nope.
Brianna,
Nope.
Amber,
Nope.
Sabrina,
Nope.
Melody,
Nope.
Dakota,
Nope.
Sierra,
Nope.
Vandy,
Nope.
Crystal,
Nope.
Samantha,
Nope.
Autumn,
Nope.
Where are you getting
Ruby,
these
Nope.
names?
Taylor,
Nope.
Sarah,
Nope.
Tammy, Laura,
Nope.
Shelly,
Nope.
Chantel,
Nope. Nope.
Courtney,
Nope.
Misty,
Nope.
Jenny,
Nope.
Krista,
Nope.
Not
Nope.
Courtney,
Nope.
really?
Nope.
Oh.
Mindy,
Nope.
Noel,
Nope.
Shelby,
Nope.
Trina,
Nope.
Reba,
Nope.
Cassandra,
Nope.
Nikki,
Nope.
Kelsey,
Nope.
Becky?
Shauna,
Mary?
Shauna,
Nope. Nope.
Jolene,
Nope.
Early,
Nope.
Claudia,
No.
Savannah,
No.
Cassie,
No.
Dolly,
No.
Kendra,
Nope.
Callie,
Nope.
Chloe,
Nope.
Devin,
Nope.
Emmy Lou,
Nope.
effing Becky. It's not her.
Nope. And it's not
What
one of
about-
those
Well,
names.
it wasn't any
What
of
about,
those.
is there a Becky Lynn or a Tammy Lynn?
Nope. It's not one of those names with a Lynn at the end of it.
Damn.
I met a girl. She's a
Just
cashier.
looking at-
No way, that's awesome. Oh, you know, well, what's her name?
White trash name. Guess.
Mandy.
Nope.
Marilyn.
Nope.
Brittany.
Nope.
Tiffany.
Nope.
Candace. All right, speed round.
All right, that's as
You
far
get-
as I,
yeah, I get it. You
That's
get
as
it.
far as I screened before.
None of those. None of those. None of the Ted names.
Wow.
That is one of the great like little bits of, let's just name the trash women's
He
names.
goes
Ted was-
so fast during that lightning round.
Ted was a good movie.
Ted is a
yeah.
great movie.
I like Ted.
I've
He
noticed
stuck
over
my
the
face with some
holidays-
Pepperidge Farm.
Over the holidays, it was on a lot more, but it's tough to watch if
With
it's
the family.
edited.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
You got
Tough
it.
watch.
You want to go and throw apples at joggers? Let's go to the improv and shout bad suggestions.
You part of one of those beat up clubs?
Yeah, well, and then they cut to it and he goes, he's like 9/11.
Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby on 9/11. So funny.
Very underrated movie.
I heard somebody said Starbucks. Nobody said Starbucks. No, but we went and we had a great time. A little Nino date. Didn't anticipate it. It was-
Good
it
one.
was phenomenal.
John writes in, if the girl is Matt's age, her name is Kylie or Kaylee.
Nope. Nope.
Seems
Call.
close though.
Nope. No. No. Had to think about it.
Really, it wasn't Katie.
No.
Every person I know is
oh my
Katie.
God. I had like
A lot of white
in my
Katies out there.
in my dating life, the amount of run-ins I've had with Katie's is ridiculous.
Yeah,
like
there's
that
so
is
many
like it's
Katies.
become an inside joke amongst my friends. Or I go, yeah, like
Katie
I
one?
hung out with a girl.
Katie 2, Katie 3.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
I had a great time.
So there's date 2.
Yeah, we're going to Dave and Buster's because
Gambling.
Get into a real casino?
because she no she can't. But she likes it. But I don't think she wants to keep like spending my money doing it.
So
we'll go to-
you went to casino adjacent Dave and Buster's.
we are going.
You will go
we,
to.
We are going.
You have
yes.
picked
Yes.
casino adjacent.
Casino adjacent.
Interesting. I wonder what Bet Free Mike thinks about that.
Do you
I'll actually lose more money at the Dave and Buster's than I will at the casino.
like? Do you have to work around?
Let's
Like,
get that free play.
I got a player's card
Yeah,
at Dave
we
and
get a
Buster's.
player's
do you have
card.
to work around her weekends that she has the kids, doesn't have the kids? Like Tuesday, Wednesday, they're at the X's.
I know that stuff.
No, you don't have to work around it? Or
I still worry about
it. Doesn't
that.
exist. It doesn't exist.
Well,
No,
I'm glad.
she's-
I'm glad.
I know.
You had a great weekend.
I had a great, and then we had the house party.
Then you had to
And
watch
we-
Nebraska basketball.
No, we had a house party. Well, listen to this.
imagine.
We had a Jesus.
Wow!
We had a house party,
Don't ever forget November 22nd. By the way,
I won't.
and my friends walked in, and they go, "Matt, can you put your Summit League Plus subscription up on TV too, so we can watch the Omaha Mavericks?"
You
take
have
on-"
that?
Oh yeah, I'm a reporter. Go Mavs! Come on, man.
Who'd you get the code from?
I bought it $9.99 a month.
Holy smokes! He bought Summit League Extra.
I know.
Yes,
he's all in.
so I can watch the away games. So
I
I can
feel
watch.
like an obligation. The
in
Mavs have to
my-
make it 10 in a row Wednesday night.
Chris Crutchfield doesn't even have that.
In my years, never have I bought a BTN Plus.
I have BTN Plus and I have Summit League Plus, so I can watch my
So,
teams when I need to watch.
in
them.
order
You
to
better have
cover.
Flow Sports.
In order to cover all the local teams, you'll have to get a Flow Sports.
That's fine. I'll gladly do that.
Yep.
I will
Yep.
spend
Watching
whatever
some Creighton
money.
baseball.
I will spend whatever money I need to spend in order to be the most educated I possibly can be when I'm on 1620 The Zone. Okay, I don't half-ass this stuff. I don't go. I'm not a box score merchant that goes, "Oh, I wonder what the Mavs did." No, I watch the game and I go, you know what? Tony had a tough night from 3. I think he'll do better next time. But the way that JJ was managing everything, it was awesome. He went 15 to 16 from the free throw line.
Do you have a Ken Palm subscription?
No, I do not.
Oh, you got to get some Ken
Are
Palm.
you a Bart guy?
A what?
Yeah, Bart Torovic.
No, I'm not.
Or that totally T-bomb.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I am so sick and tired of DVOA.
I like it.
I am so sick and tired.
You got to get a DVOA.
I produced a show back in Chicago, and we had a drinking game that
Yeah, but
every
they're-
time one of the hosts said DVOA, we had to take a shot.
They're 3-12, but they're 8th in DVOA.
They're DVOA. So you look at their DVOA, they would literally do power rankings, and they're like, well, I didn't put the Saints here because their DVOA is actually 18th in the league compared to the Jaguars, who have a better record, but their DVOA, and I'm like, I don't.
So you watch
care.
the games. You invest. You're not invested in like the analytics tools that you'll get. You said I want to invest in the game.
I want to watch.
Watch the game.
Was I on TV a lot the other night?
No. Your
right
back
next to
was.
Tracy McGrady.
Your back was because
Hey,
of TV.
Hey,
They
Gary.
were like, where's Gary? And I go, it's right there. I go, I know that back anywhere.
Gary, I got a mechanical question for you. Do they bring their own trash can?
No.
So they just
I mean,
abuse-
so there's
whatever-
got to be a fine.
So we were
attached
talking
to
about
this.
this flying back.
This is bad.
Like, will they get a bill from a school
yeah.
They'll have to.
of what they've done to their trash can?
Yeah, because they're making a mess of the trash cans.
I mean,
Yes.
he looked like goddamn Kevin Nash at Bash in the Beach.
He does have-
1990, like, and now he looked
he
like
does
he
have
was
the
at,
wrestling thing.
he looked
down.
like he
Yes.
was in 1997, like he was on Nitro. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he hit the crap out of
I
that
just
thing.
saw.
And then he went back for seconds.
I see these and I'm like, there's no way these Summit League schools are happy that they're getting their trash cans
Yeah.
destroyed.
That's soft. That's
no.
soft.
Like
soft Connor Happer over here, worried about the trash
I
cans
am.
feelings.
Justice
So
for the trash
North
cans.
Dakota State, I think they destroyed the trash can because they threw it across the room.
Oh,
Yeah. The one on Saturday night.
That
was
one
that
got
just out in the hallway.
blown
yeah.
to smithereens.
It's turned into one of the best locker room celebrations of
It
basketball.
is, and honestly, that is one of the key tenets of all of the March Madness.
Yes.
Like
That's
Cinderella
true.
sleeper teams, like they have a bit,
Yeah.
They
Well,
have a thing.
I think that's just
or like the
every,
teams that show up during the College World Series and they got some like rubber duck hanging from their dugout or
Yes.
something like that. Like
every team that really has a Cinderella story, I feel like has a bit. Like there are just teams who have bits, and it's fun. Like
this
last
is your
year,
twin snake.
like last year when Nebraska was winning basketball games and went to the NCAA tourney, they had the boom box, and Jawan Garrett would go in and he would be playing the boom box during the locker. Or the Bears in 2018, you had Club Dub. And Club Dub has been gone since 2018. They never brought back Club Dub because they never have dubs. So there's no club.
can't have a club when there's no dubs.
When there's no dubs. No,
It's out of
it's a
business.
great dude. It's been out of business for
They
so
take away
long.
their alcohol license.
Oh,
They're
did
done.
you hear earlier that so Declan Doyle is the offensive coordinator?
Yes,
for the Chicago Bears, and he goes, would he be the son of the strength and conditioning coach of Iowa, who got dismissed?
Yeah.
And I go online and I see a headline that goes, Bears hire son of disgraced coach to be their next OC. And I'm like, geez. And I click on the headline. It was a Packers website. It was incredible.
classic.
It was it was so funny. Like we were just here. And I go, oh no. This is like Green Bay fan edition. Disgraced son of disgraced coach.
What is disgraced coach up to these days? Is he cooking anywhere? I feel like he got a job in the NFL. What was his first
I
name?
think he did, Chris.
Crystal.
I think he did go to the NFL. Maybe
And yeah,
Jacksonville.
no, I think it was Cleveland or Denver.
I
Or
think,
maybe it
all,
was
I think
Jacksonville.
all disgraced college football just will go to the
I
NFL.
know. He was on Urban's
Yes,
staff.
yes,
He
that
was
was the big
Jacksonville.
story. Yeah, and that was a
Yeah.
big deal. And
So
then
is he not anywhere now?
I
No,
don't think
no.
so.
And then the media said, "Hey, Urban, you know that we're
That's
not the
right.
Columbus media, and we will actually ask you questions about this, right?"
And then he immediately resigned.
immediately resigned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Khan family. They love running organizations into the ground over there in the Khans.
So
Tony,
will you think
Zog.
he'll be hanging around the Bears offices like Pat Fitzgerald hangs around the Iowa offices
Maybe.
with his son going to school there?
Maybe.
Pat Fitzgerald, the school that he coaches, the school in Chicago that he coaches, they offered a kid there. Nebraska offered a kid who plays at Loyola Academy over the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back to back Class 8A state champions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible run.
No,
Kind of a
seriously.
dynasty. Might remind you of the Chiefs.
Incredible.
Absolutely incredible.
Much better than Notre Dame Prep Academy.
We're not an academy. We're a school for young boys.
Notre Dame Prep, whatever.
Notre Dame College Prep.
Bears
Hey,
adjacent.
did you wear a uniform?
Yeah, polo and khakis.
Oh,
and then
that's not terrible.
And you got to wear a quarter zip. Like if you were like once you became like a upperclassman, you got like quarter zips and stuff like that, and like you got to wear those.
Whoa.
Quarter zips were
You
like
got geared up?
They were like currency. Like if people would trade quarter zips and sweaters with people, but we couldn't wear hoodies.
It was kind of like you're in prison, like for cigarettes and stuff.
Yeah, I would be walking down the hallway and the dean would come up to me and be like, "Hey, you got to cut your hair. Hair's too long."
Whoa.
I'm like, okay.
Starting to make a lot of sense now. When I was at Dowling.
Yeah, West Des Moines Dowling. Powerhouse.
So if you were a freshman or sophomore, it was polo, khaki pants, or khaki skirt, collared shirt for women or girls. And then if you were upperclassmen, it was blue and blue.
Okay, that's how you tell the difference.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Gray underclassmen, blue upperclassmen.
Wow.
Kind of made it awkward that you stood out like a freshman.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just got a great email.
What does it say?
Listening to young Matt over the past couple of weeks, I'm starting to wonder what his paycheck amount is. This guy buys a Keurig and supplies for the office, gambles incessantly, has 1,000 subscriptions, including one that only 5 other people have, is talking about buying a table and other supplies for the office, and many more expenses to a lengthy list here. Perhaps the myth that radio doesn't pay is wrong.
Interesting. Interesting.
Colin
Thank you for
brings
sending
up a
that
good
in,
point.
Colin in White Plains, my
Yeah.
guy.
Hmm.
You have a response to this?
I plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth.
I mean, at least your parents give you an allowance. It's still pretty cool.
Fifth.
Do they put it in your checking account or do they just send you?
I plead the fifth.
Dan writes in on YouTube.
Hi, Dan.
Dan, upstairs. Wow. Not even a real private school. Shirts and ties are a real uniform.
Dan's a Packers fan. He can eat it.
Eat it.
He can
Matt says.
I don't think there's any.
Eat it.
I don't think you have to wear ties anywhere here.
No.
Because
Why
at
would you-
prep, you do have to wear. They have a uniform.
Yeah,
and like,
same
and
thing,
like
right?
But there's no
that's
ties.
more so East Coast, like East Coast boarding schools, like they have to wear ties and shirts. We had to wear ties and shirts for church. So we had church once a month. And so every mass day is what we would call it. And we would have to wear shirts and ties.
I think we all went to public school where just wear something.
I wore pants under my pants, shorts under my shorts.
Well, we would,
Did you wear the sweatpants? And
Dude.
you put the shorts on top of them?
I had to be ready at all times in case a pickup basketball game broke out.
okay.
So
No, wait, I did that.
cargo shorts, there's basketball shorts underneath them. Could you see the basketball shorts popping out? Yes.
Under my
Absolutely.
khaki,
Underneath the jeans, basketball shorts.
under my khaki shorts, there would be days where we would play intramural basketball we would have like an hour community period where it was just like an hour and 20 minutes where you
Like
can
yard
eat
time?
lunch. Yeah, basically yard time. And so on days where we were playing basketball, by the way, I was a back-to-back NDBA champion.
Hello.
I would wear shorts under my khakis so I can just quickly change and
You
get
gotta
in
be
my
ready.
shorts. I was actually the first ever student to win an NDBA championship and an NDSL championship in the same calendar year.
Yesterday at the women's basketball game in Lincoln, they had some of the intramural champions throw out T-shirts.
That's awesome.
I thought that was a great gift for the intramural champions.
They're-
Not only do you get a shirt, but you get to throw out T-shirts at a women's basketball game.
They're calling me one of the biggest busts in intramural history because I am a Notre Dame College Prep intramural Hall of Famer.
I heard
And
that
I-
on After Hours.
And
the
I
other
never
day.
I never won a college intramural championship. Never won one. What are you laughing at?
It's a shame. It's a shame. What could have been?
I know.
You might have got that T-shirt toss.
Always the bridesmaid,
Hey.
never the bride.
John's with me. Shorts over sweatpants. That was the look back in the day.
Hell yeah.
Shorts over sweatpants.
So you'd wear sweatpants,
That's
and then
crazy.
you would wear shorts, like you see some of the older movies. Let's see, I'm thinking people like Footloose. What's the wrestling movie back then?
Macho Libre. Nacho Libre.
That's not back in the day.
That's not back in the day. But yeah,
Roadhouse?
so you would wear sweatpants and then you'd put shorts over them. That was not. You guys didn't have that.
No, it was reversed. It was reversed. It was shorts underneath the sweatpants.
Did you ever see the Iron Claw? Did any of you guys see that movie?
I did. It was
The
incredibly
Goonies? Are you
sad.
thinking of the Goonies?
The Goonies. Yeah, the brother.
Incredibly sad.
I've never cried more in my life
Sad
than
movie.
when I saw the Iron Claw in theaters.
Just disheartening movie.
Yeah, my dad asked if I needed therapy after how much I was bawling during that movie. So bad.
Well, how did he ask it? Like,
he goes,
"Hey, do you need some therapy?"
He
Or,
goes,
"What do you need therapy?"
No. He goes, "Are you okay? Like, I felt like you let out of a lot of emotion there. Are you bottling things up?" He's like, "Do you need therapy?" And I'm like, "No, it's just a sad movie."
I feel like some therapy would have done the Von Erichs well.
Shoot.
So
maybe.
I was thinking of Vision Quest, but Goonies also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Kenny.
Josh, I'm in a Royal Rumble pool. I told Gary about it. Yeah.
What number you got?
We draw on Friday.
Okay.
Thinking I think the death numbers are definitely anywhere from 8 to 21, and then if we can get anywhere from 22 to 30, winner take all, $300.
$300. Okay.
Yeah.
David says Rocky. Yeah, definitely a lot of sweats going on in Rocky. Did you see
Kyle Brandt?
Kyle Brandt?
That was awesome.
That Kyle Brandt is incredible, as we have said on the show before.
That's right.
Yeah.
What a great bit.
He's my white whale.
Yeah.
He went all the way to Russia to film. the
What?
Rocky
He
montage.
flew out to
He
Russia to
didn't go to
what?
Russia. He went to a field covered in snow somewhere.
But he is awesome doing that stuff.
Yeah.
And so they only showed the edited clip on the pregame show. Online is the full clip. It is fantastic.
Yep.
About talking about the Bills basically being Rocky to beat the Chiefs.
He's a Chicago guy from Hinsdale.
How about the Mahomes? They had Mahomes workout a montage in there.
Punching bags and stuff like that. Absolutely.
I did see it. I heard that I didn't have the volume on, but I saw that the preview for the game was good.
Are you out on Kyle Brandt?
He's fine. He's fine.
Jealous?
No, he's fine. He's fine. Why would I be jealous of Kyle Brandt?
No, he's jacked.
I follow his personal trainer. So I follow his personal trainer on Instagram, Kyle Brandt's personal trainer. I follow him. He's awesome. He's a great I kid you not. I lost a lot of weight. Gained a lot of muscle, and it's in part because I follow Kyle Brandt's trainer, who's got really good eating tips and whatnot and places to eat, and he does a great series where it's if you're going to this fast food place, buy this meal because it hits these macros and stuff like that. Seriously. His personal trainer is part of the reason I lost weight.
Maybe
so I like
you need
Kyle
a personal
Brandt
trainer.
Maybe I need a therapist. I need a lot of things. You
got a coffee maker.
Kyle Brandt's fine. He just, he's kind of in his hermit stage where it's just he kind of just does what he does and he's cool. He's good.
Okay.
He's solid.
I definitely believe you.
Did you guys, and you probably talked about it and I missed it, when he went to the pumpkin patch?
Kyle Brandt?
Yeah.
I missed that.
At the beginning of the year?
No.
Yeah.
He did a bit hey, we're at the pumpkin patch.
He goes,
you can't come here any other day.
This is a place that nobody wants to be at, but we have to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great bit.
Good bit.
He's got a lot of good bits.
It's pretty good.
From real world to
Isn't that wild?
the crossover on 16.
I would like to see where are they now?
Football
real world
takes.
stars. Someone on
that one guy's in the Trump administration.
That's true.
I don't remember his name.
That's true. That is his claim to fame is he was on Real World.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The host from The Apprentice is on
He's in the administration
he's
too.
in the administration too.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, I think he's running the country.
Yeah, I think he is.
I think that's right.
All right.
Well, you guys have a great day. Whatever you're going to get into today, I wish you good luck.
I like that you're sporting some baseball because Truck Day is coming up.
Oh, they're going to pack up that truck.
Truck Day to Florida and Arizona is right around the corner.
Indeed.
Heck yeah.
Indeed.
It's almost here. We got Game 7 of the Dominican League tonight.
Oh, do we
on
really?
MLB Network.
Oh, I love that.
Yep.
What else is going on?
It's going to be 50 whatever tomorrow.
I know.
We're
cutting off.
It's
the
going to be
weeks.
50 tomorrow?
Cutting off the weeks. Yeah, we're looking
Over
good
50.
all week.
I might wear shorts tomorrow.
mid 50, dare I say?
I didn't even bother bringing a big jacket today. Didn't even wear it.
I did
Walked
bring
in
a
with
big
what
jacket.
exactly what I have on.
I mean, if we're trending this way, Nebraska plays at Omaha the 5th of March. I believe it might be 80.
That guy looks like Freddie Prinze Jr.
It's John Morosi.
Yeah. Looks like Freddie Prinze Jr. from live action Scooby Doo. He looks like Fred.
And among other things.
He looks like.
Is that what we cite Freddie Prinze Jr. from? I'm just curious.
Did you ever see Summer Catch?
No, I mean Freddie Prinze Jr. is Fred in
She's all
live
that?
action Scooby Doo.
You gotta watch Summer Catch.
Yeah, I gotta watch a lot of things.
If you work here, you do have to watch Summer Catch.
Yes,
You have to have a take about Summer
Yeah,
It
Catch.
comes up a surprising
You have to have
amount.
a strong opinion on Summer Catch.
All right, I'll watch Summer Catch. Is
All
it
right.
how long of a movie is it?
Probably about 90 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'll watch it today.
Yeah.
I got time.
Not much depth to it.
Okay. Is it comedy?
Hour and 48 minutes.
There are comedic moments.
Okay.
Are they comedic moments because of the way it's written or the way it's performed?
There's some accidental comedy.
It's fair.
There's some Jessica Biel.
Hey!
Scooby-Doo guy will like it because Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard are in it together.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scooby Doo.
Scooby-Doo guy.
Scooby Doo guy.
Package up.
All right, Scoobs, now let's get out of here. That's the crossover powered by Ever Level Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. It's Monday. We'll start things off next.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Monday. It's the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. How we doing, everybody?
Hello. What a wonderful Monday.
What a wonderful Monday. You have the good vibes today. At the sun out. The sun's been out for way too long. I shouldn't say too long. You know, it's like have we ever put 3 or 4 days together straight in January that have not a cloud in the sky?
Okay.
We're rocking it right now.
Yeah.
Rocking it.
We're having a good run.
Yeah. So as we make the transition into February and into Super Bowl time, just one football game left. And it's a game that everybody is very excited for, very excited to see, fun, unique.
Going to do a monster number.
Interesting matchup.
Plenty of great storylines.
Chiefs and Eagles. Is this January 27th, 2023? No. It's January 27th, 2025. Welcome to the show, everybody. We'll, of course, recap the football from yesterday and ask many questions about the Chiefs. Conspiracy theorists are out.
Oh,
they had some fodder, or they maybe shoehorned some fodder into the game.
Yeah, let's go with that.
And we'll talk about that as we go on throughout the show here in just a couple minutes today. Let's set things up. Mike Schaefer will be our lone guest today in about an hour.
That's all we need.
Mike Schaefer, Husker 247, will join us. That is the line up powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. We'd love to hear from you all on the hotline, 402-951-1620. You can call or text that number. Feel free to do so. Tweet at Happer Show, at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Email Connor, Josh L at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. And of course, we say good morning to the YouTube streamers out there. What's up? What's up, brother?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that guy?
Hit him with that.
He's gone. I don't know where he went. Did he get canceled? No idea. But nobody says what's up, brother, anymore.
Sad.
Very
We
sad.
used to be a proper society.
Downfall of society, for sure. Jason and Pender writes into the text line.
Hi, Jason.
Connor, great job at the Chai on Saturday. Definitely need to show some love to the guy who hit the half-court shot. Oh, we'll talk about half-court shot gate. We'll check the tape during the show today.
So many people know about this.
So many people know about this.
What other timeout game
I don't know.
has garnered this type of media controversy?
I mean, it was a heck of a week for things like that, right? We had putt for a Porsche in Lincoln.
That's right.
And they gave the guy keys to the Porsche. You've just won a check that says $10,000. Feel like Jackie Moon out there. So we had the putt for a Porsche, and then we had the kid at the UNO game who hit a half-court shot and won like a car detail or something like that. That's a nice gift around this time of year. I know my car gets dirty.
Hello.
That's for sure.
Could use that.
And then we had a young fella at the Creighton women's game on Saturday, knocked down a half-court shot for $7,000. Or did he? We'll discuss.
We'll check the videotape.
Yeah, we'll check the tapes. Don't worry. We got the tapes. They're available to us. Elsewhere, some big news in the Big Ten over the weekend involving a couple playoff teams, Penn State and Ohio State. Would you like to pay your defensive coordinator $3 million a year? But what about the money? How could you pay $3 million to a defensive coordinator? Penn State found a way.
John Butler's making 1.1.
Yeah, we got those salaries today too. We'll take a look back at some of our NFL takes that have aged in different ways. Some well, some maybe not so well.
Oh,
stay tuned for those during the show today.
I didn't know we had bad takes. I thought we outlawed those.
Well, they're generally frowned upon, but we don't have a lot of them. It's almost February, which means it's time to ask the annual question regarding Creighton basketball. Is it time to rethink their ceiling? Talk about that during the show today. Nebraska basketball What do we do with you? Wasn't good. Was not good on Saturday. They have questions, but maybe too many at this point. Things are spiraling. We're in full tailspin.
Just get a bucket. Just get a bucket. You're down 19-2.
Get a stop.
Just put the orange thing in the hole.
Yeah. We have a Dylon alert.
Dylon?
Dylon is being seen by many people from many sides.
Okay.
So we'll check in with Dylon. Let's see what he's up to. The Kansas City Chiefs. I have a take about the dots guy. I'm calling him the dots guy. Ben Solak, the dots guy. He loves the dots.
He does enjoy the
He wants
dots.
to talk about the dots and only the dots. Football is not played on a football field, Josh. It's played with dots.
It's played on one of those vibrating football tables.
Yep, it's dots. And plenty more as we go on throughout today's show. Welcome to it, everybody. Josh, how was your weekend?
It was fine. We went to the Creighton men's game on Saturday. My child is now Ryan Kalkbrenner's greatest fan.
Whoa!
He
already went to the top?
He leaned over to me at the start of the game. A game in which he wasn't really thrilled about going, but he's like, okay, there's cotton candy there, whatever.
He's not a college he's like, this is not a hockey game. I don't want to be here.
Right,
Okay.
right. So he goes, who's Creighton's best player, Daddy?
Mhm.
And I said, well, that'd probably be that real tall gentleman over there, number 11.
Pop, who's the best player?
Ryan Kalkbrenner. He goes, okay. Who's the fastest player?
Great question.
And I said, I don't really know. They don't really like get out and run all that much. You know, there's big bodies on a small court nowadays. I don't know if you've heard this argument about basketball. So I didn't have an answer for him there. And he said, who's Creighton's best passer?
Great question.
He's firing great questions at me for a 5-year-old who's never watched more than 30 seconds of basketball.
You could not answer the question of who's the fastest player.
No, I couldn't.
I'd probably say Jemiah Neal.
Okay. I said Stephen Ashworth was the team's best passer. I don't know.
He could be your answer as the fastest player too.
Okay. And he said, wow, he's shorter than the other guys. And I said, yes, good observation, son.
And it was at that point he decided to really like the tallest
Yeah,
player.
because he kept slam dunking it on Saturday.
He did.
And as a 5-year-old, that's kind of all you're really there for.
Great. Excellent. So
Had
we got
a great time.
We got a new basketball fan in town, ladies and gentlemen.
He was upset that Billy Blue Jay did not come over our way to dap him up. So.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Bring back the old Billy Blue Jay. That's what I say.
Old Billy definitely would have came on
That's
over
right.
and hung out for a little bit. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the basketball game. Many did. 18,000 plus on Saturday. John Bishop thought at one point that I was talking with Baker Mayfield in the stands. He was like, whoa, you guys are having Baker Mayfield on? And I'm like, nope.
What?
He like texted me while this thing was going on. He's like, you got Baker Mayfield on. I'm like, that's not Baker Mayfield. It's just a guy. I think his name was Jimmy. And he won something during the game as the lucky row or lucky fan or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, that guy's Baker Mayfield. No, it's up. That's all right. But he did win a free dinner to Texas State Brazil.
Dessert at Texas State Brazil.
No, he won the
Oh,
dinner
he was
too.
the end guy on the lucky row.
Oh, yeah. Got to be seated on the aisles. Might be something in it for you, as well as the ease of getting about the arena as well.
That's right.
Then the women's game on Saturday with 11,000 plus, a smashing an attendance record for Creighton women's basketball, and Creighton kind of hung in there a little bit. Ugly game where nobody really made shots for like the entire first half. Sightlines, Josh. Sightlines.
Oh, they're different.
That's what I would say. I would say like that seemed to be quite the adjustment for everybody.
Okay.
It seemed. But UConn, and I think there was probably like 40 to 50% UConn fans.
And that's why they don't do it at the Big House very often, specifically for the UConn game.
But like all of them were, it was, I was telling some people this on Saturday. It was almost like Caitlin Clark, like the Paige Beckers. Everybody showed up in a number 5 Connecticut jersey. All the little girls showed up in a number 5 Connecticut jersey.
Totally get that though, right?
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. Not quite like what it was for Caitlin Clark, but the horde of people afterwards waiting for her to come back out the tunnel and sign like probably 6 autographs. I mean, you had to be really right up there. But that was quite the show. And then yesterday in Lincoln, there was almost 10,000 people to watch Nebraska women's basketball play Ohio State. Didn't make enough shots to get the job done there either. But yeah, good basketball weekend. As far as the crowds are concerned, anyway. 1 and 3 among men and women in Creighton and Nebraska this weekend. 1 and 3. So, yes, we will get to all those things as we go on throughout the show today. We will review the half-court shot that wasn't and then was, or that wasn't and then was again. I guess many people have asked me about this, so I'll have to talk about this. I have to address the allegations. We'll have that as well.
I hate that you have to do this, but
it must be done.
In this day and age, yes.
Also, we'll talk about fourth down conversions and what's a catch and interceptions and things like this. I feel like you conspiracy theorists have gone too far. You use every little thing for fodder. I feel like I'm on an island.
You're seeing really what you want to see here.
100%. So we'll have that coming up in just a few minutes as well. Welcome to a Monday edition of the Connor Happer Show. We'll be back after this on 1620 The Zone. Hey, we got a cool new thing going on at 1620thezone.com right now. It's what we're imploring all of our local sports teams to do. Get your bleep together.
Whoa, hey, whoa. Aggressive.
Get your bleep together. You can go to 1620thezone.com right now and register for a chance to win $5,000 with the Get Your Bleep Together giveaway. Why not?
Who approved this?
I know I would have a way better opportunity to get my bleep together if I had $5,000 more. People say that money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you the opportunity to get your bleep together. And you can do that right now on our website, 1620thezone.com. Speaking of winning money, let's just hit this right off the top, Josh. Are we ready to play a video? We're gonna check the tapes here. Many people have asked about the half-court shot. Don't worry, we'll talk about the Chiefs in a second.
Trust me, we've got 2 weeks to talk about the Chiefs. We have a lifetime to talk about the Chiefs. We're going to talk about the Chiefs.
And the NFL script writers, they're at it again, aren't they? Just every little thing goes the Chiefs' way. Well, I'm going to present to you a video from the Let It Fly shootout on Saturday afternoon at the Creighton women's basketball game. And with me narrating and a very confident contestant going in. I'll explain the rules in the video. Here it is.
Let It Fly shootout presented by Let It Fly Sports Bar. I'm here with Patrick today. Patrick's got a layup, a free throw, a 3.5 court shot, all in 30 seconds. And if he does so, he's going home with $7,000 from Let It Fly Sports Bar. Patrick, are you ready, my friend?
Never been more confident.
He's never been more confident. Here we go. Give him that basketball. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, fans, he's got a layup. Here we go. Good start for Patrick. He's a lefty. Okay, here we go. 20 seconds for a 3.5 court shot. 15 seconds. 15. Okay, here we go, Patrick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for Patrick. That's how we get the fourth quarter started in Omaha. Let's go, Patrick. Way to go, my friend.
Oh, jeez.
I watched that video through a different lens now, and I noticed things that I didn't.
What'd you notice, Josh?
before.
Why'd you tell me about it?
Well, he was very, very much
Very late.
very late.
Very late.
Very hard zero
Very
on
late.
the clock. This isn't the NFL where you can just snap it whenever you want and it's fine. It doesn't really matter. Time is irrelevant.
Or if there's 1 second in between the game clock and the 2-minute warning, it'll just mesh into each other somehow.
yeah.
That's weird. That's
It's not a thing, but apparently it's a thing now.
Just the blended clock, as Debo says.
I noticed Connor was very careful to not say, "We have a winner."
Mm-hmm. So if you want to know why I made the noises I made or why I was on the floor, it's because I knew that it wasn't going to count. But I was not going to be the person who got booed out of the arena for waving off a half-court shot and an opportunity for the guy to win $7,000. We'll take this behind the scenes. We'll have to break the news to young Patrick that he did not win because he was late and he was over the line. And you only have one attempt at a half-court shot, right? So
he took 2 shots.
He took 2. All right. So there was a few things in there, and he did not meet the requirements for winning the game. And so we had to tell him afterwards. And then people found out about this because obviously the local media is sitting there and they're like, "Oh my God, this guy just made a half-court shot for $7,000. Like, this is sweet. Here's the video." And then and then we go back and we tell him, we're like, "Hey, you didn't win." And then the people who are sitting there on the baseline are like, "Hey, so what did he win? $7,000?" And I'm like, "No, he didn't win anything." And then they're like, "I have a correction to make. He actually didn't win anything. You guys can do what you want with this information. This is great."
Boo, Connor, boo.
Yeah. And so then it's, and I got people come up to me the rest of the game saying, "Justice for Patrick, pray for Pat." It's dead serious. And
trust me, there's enough people praying for Patrick right now.
Different Patrick.
Oh, okay.
And then it was determined later on that a great sponsor, Let It Fly, would come through and they would pay him out anyway. Everybody, we got to follow the rules that are given to us. But if the sponsor wants to come through and pay him what they were offering, had he met the proper qualifications, or if they determine, hey, this is close enough, whatever, then that is up to them. That is at their discretion. but there's an insurance thing that you have to go through, and you got to make sure the rules are all carried out correctly. So it all worked out, right, Josh? It all worked out. No more
Seems that way,
controversy.
yeah.
No more controversy.
Everybody wins. Let it. I mean, we've talked about let it fly twice in the first 3 segments.
They're getting all the good pub off this. It's a good move by them.
Uh-huh.
No doubt about it. Mustache Adam writes in, so the sponsor can award money if they deem the behavior acceptable. Joel writes in, Patrick, handshake meme. Patrick, rules don't apply.
Patrick gets all the calls. Am I right, folks?
Yet another example of Patrick getting all of the calls. Conspiracy theorist guy. So we just had to make that clear right off the bat today. I got too many questions about it. Josh, as you said, it spread like wildfire. People were wondering.
Everybody was talking about this thing. My wife came up to me and she said, "You see, this guy made this half-court shot," and I'm like, "He didn't make that half-court shot."
Do you understand what the plight that I had? Please step into my shoes.
Oh, I would not have.
What would you have done?
I would have said,
I knew that it wasn't going to count. I knew in the moment that it wasn't going to count.
I would have forced Let It Fly's hand. I would have said, "This guy won. I dare you to say he didn't. This guy won."
Dangerous. Dangerous.
That's why you have the job and I don't.
You got to play nice. You got to play nice a little bit. And so I was just like, yep, there you go. Let's hear it for him.
Wow. That went in.
But everybody went home happy. Or everybody eventually got home and then got happy after that. Yes. So shout out to Patrick for getting all the calls.
Patrick's America, am I right?
Jacob Padilla writes in.
Hi, Jacob.
So what you're saying is it's your fault for giving everyone belief that Patrick still had a chance to win after the first shot.
Oh.
Since you continued to count down. That's correct. That's correct. Once again.
Okay. I understand.
I have to share responsibilities here. I both have an obligation to the objectivity of the game, right? The rules of the game. And I also share responsibility with making people feel good.
Yeah, your obligation is to the crowd as a whole.
Yes.
The individual, the sponsors at play, the university.
So was it my job to run up to Patrick after he missed the first half-court shot and say, no more half-court shots?
No mas.
I could have done that. But then what would have happened, Josh? Your sweet, sweet boy sitting right here would have got booed out of the building.
Mm-hmm.
And
we don't need that.
I was protecting my own interests.
That's right.
I guess in that moment.
Local radio host booed out of building. We don't need that.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yes. I was partly responsible for the hubbub, for sure. I share the responsibility. But everybody walked away happy. And that's what really matters, Josh. Okay.
Well, the Creighton women's basketball team did not.
No, they did not. But they, it wasn't like a huge blowout or anything like that. No. Kept it close. Joel writes in.
Hi, Joel.
You really should have said, "Ooh, Jim, I don't know." That's
tough call to make.
If we could go back to the noise, me going, that was basically that.
Ooh, tough call.
All right. Speaking of Jim and Tony, we'll hear from them in just a moment. We have some more videos for you regarding the football game last night. Patrick, handshake meme, Patrick getting all the calls. We'll discuss it and why. I don't know. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills today. Yet again, coming up on 1620 The Zone.
let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Well, for the second time in 3 years, it's Chiefs and Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Nobody thought that it could happen.
They laughed at us.
We'll check the tape on that one a little bit later on in the show, but let's get to the nitty-gritty of the football game last night. And I want to talk about the dots guy as well. That'll be in about 10 or 15 minutes, once we get through this conversation. So when the Chiefs play a football game, people say that the outcome of said game is predetermined, right? Or in these moments that require very close calls, things like that, the Chiefs always end up being on the right side of them. And honestly, they do find themselves on the right side of those things. But as we've explained all throughout the year, they have figured out their formula to simply winning football games, right? Who would have thought that they could have scored 32 points, last night against Buffalo? They haven't scored 32 points all year.
All year.
They literally haven't scored 32 points all year. But they find a way to do so. And there were some moments along the way that need to be reviewed. So let's go to fourth down.
Okay.
Let's go to fourth down last night. Now, I'm going to show you guys the video. If you're watching along with us on YouTube or at 1620thezone.com, zonetv.live, you'll be able to see this. If not, you'll be able to play theater of the mind or go back to what you saw or what you thought you saw last night. This is going to show you two replay angles, as was broadcast on CBS, of Josh Allen's fourth down quarterback sneak attempt against the Chiefs defense last night in the AFC title game.
So, tucking it, and now reaching for it. It's as close. He's looking from the other side where the football is. Right there. Does he get enough to get to that line? Just had to get to that line.
There. Sorry. That last angle right there, coming from the other side, was probably the best shot that you were going to have, right? And it featured Josh Allen pummeling his way into a scrum, bodies upon bodies, all in one place, but a relatively clear look at Josh Allen, but maybe not so much of where the football was. So in this situation, it is the call on the field that becomes the most important thing. Given how the replay system currently works and the processes that we have to go through, it is the call on the field that matters most, because you're pretty much assured, unless everybody missed something, that it's going to be difficult to get an overturn on a situation like that. Sneaks, and we're talking about spotting of the football. Not is a catch, not was he in bounds, it's spotting the football. And this requires so many other tenets, right? We're talking about forward progress and was the runner down? In this specific case, obviously he wasn't down. It was just the spot of the football and where it ends up being. And so it's the call on the field that is really crucial.
We've been reviewing football plays for a quarter of a century now. We know, hey, you need to have indisputable evidence to overturn the call on the field. I think America's forgetting that right now.
They do. And we're using and so the narrative going into the game with the Chiefs is that they get everything and they get every call, and
confirmation bias going on right now.
So on the field is really important. And if you're telling me on the field that they should have marked it that he had the first down, which the one official coming in it looked like he had the mark for Josh Allen to get the first down, and the other official coming in from the front side of the play, who actually had a decent look at the ball, marked it short, and he was the one who ultimately ended up ruling on the play, ruled him short, and then you go to replay, and you're pretty confident at that point that you're not going to get it overturned. And remember, it's 4th down. I am honestly I know we do this every time, and now with the Chiefs, it's becoming like this self-fulfilling prophecy. I am floored that people think it was so obvious that he went over the line. That when they put it up on replay, you were obviously going to get an overturn. Because that's what social media, that's what my feed of tweets was telling me last night. It's like, don't, because they went to break, right? And then we had 3 minutes to sit on this. They're like, don't worry, they're going to change it. I went into the break with the replay, the little that they had shown, thinking, gosh, I don't know it. I don't know. And then they came back and showed what you just saw. Or if you're watching along with on YouTube, what you just saw. And based off of that, I wasn't sure about anything. Did he get that football to the line? Maybe. Was it overturnable? Was it indisputable that he got to the line before he was shoved back?
No.
In my opinion, no.
No.
And you guys know me, like, I'm not a Chiefs homer, and like I'm not saying what I say goes here, but I'm floored that people think it was that obvious that he went over the line. Really. And then I'm really floored that people thought there was going to be enough on replay to overturn it. That's really the thing, I guess. So if you want to call it on the field that he got over and he got the first down, you have to make that call on the field, and that's going to be really tough to see live. It always is. The official on the backside of it, who had Josh Allen turn from him, seemed to think that it was maybe a half a yard in front of where they actually ended up getting it. So are we saying that guy saw it better? Like, no. Like,
it's impossible for that guy to have seen it better.
It's just
that guy's
so
telling
close.
you what you want to hear.
That guy is telling you what you want to hear. And then, like I said, I'm really floored that people thought it was going to be enough on the replay to overturn.
And then we get into last night. People are like Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with string all across their marker board, like, okay, it means that that Patrick paid the refs and that Roger Goodell wants ratings for a Super Bowl. Yeah, because the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen would bring no ratings to this thing.
Gooey Butter writes in.
Hi, Gooey Butter.
It wasn't just that spot, it was the spot before that. So that's what I was going to get to. I think the appropriate opportunity for a challenge or whatever was the one on where Dalton Kincaid, and we're going to talk about another Dalton Kincaid play as well, but on the 3rd down play where he got to the line and it was really close. And remember, the key about that play is that he's generally out in the open. There's one guy around him. And so in my opinion, you actually have a chance there to look at that on replay and say, oh, he got to the line. And yet they went up on 4th down, and now we have the scrum of people instead. And it's just, we got a guy going forward, and he pushed back. He got pushed back. On the play before, it was just, he dove the ball out. Let's see where he's at, right? It's almost like, did he score a touchdown or did he not score the touchdown? That kind of thing. I think he had a better chance on that one. I didn't think that spot was good. I think if they would have replayed that may have provided enough evidence to be able to say the Bills got the first down on the 3rd down, and the 4th down play doesn't happen at all, which would have been great for all of us.
Yes. Wouldn't be here right now.
We wouldn't be talking about this stuff. I'm not like, I didn't need the Bills to win. I'm like we were saying, we both thought the Chiefs were, going to end up in the Super Bowl, and
sure,
we'll get to that a little bit later.
They're
in the
a
show.
very good team.
So
they've been here before. You're not going to rattle them.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills today. I feel like every little thing that happens in these games is used. And this is by like people who try to watch the game objectively. Like, obviously you see a fair amount from Chiefs fans or Chiefs haters who are like, this does or doesn't or whatever confirm that the refs are in the bag for the Chiefs and all that stuff. Like, people who observe the sport at an objective level, they were like, yeah, well, there's no, I mean, come on. Am I the only one on this? I mean, clearly you and I are both on the same page here, Josh. But like, I feel like I'm the only person who's like, Yeah, I just didn't see enough there. And that's how it goes. When you're getting to a 4th and 1 QB sneak situation where we got to spot a ball, is it ridiculous that we don't have the technology to be able to spot the ball? Like, of course. Of course. So there's that whole side conversation too.
We gotta do the tennis thing, and we gotta
put a chip in the ball.
We're gonna microchip it, and well, okay, the you can't see the ball a lot of the time in those scrums.
Well, if you put a chip in the ball, then you don't have to see it, right?
Theoretically,
right. I mean, I'm down with putting a chip in the ball.
Sure.
Put a chip in the ball.
This is a $10 billion a year industry. They can put a chip in the ball.
Yeah, we can figure out something better. And so I was wondering a little bit last night and into this morning, what will be the thing from this game? Because, we changed overtime 2 years ago for this game.
That's right.
And so the thing, maybe the rule change that comes out of this game, the overreaction rule change that comes from this game will be putting a chip in the football finally, or experimenting with putting chips in the football.
Or going back to measuring first downs.
We just don't do that anymore.
Bringing the chains out.
So was that one of the things? I don't like, why has that been removed from the sport? Was that a pace of play?
I think so.
Initiative? Like hey, we got to speed these things up. We can't be running these chain guys out on the field all the time.
That's my guess.
I would imagine so too. Like if I'm Sean McDermott, I'm yelling at whoever I can, like, hey, can we take a look on third down? Can we just take a closer look, or if not, can we measure? Can we figure out something?
Show me exactly how short I am if I'm short.
Right. But then when you get to 4th down and it's a QB sneak and it's a giant scrum of people, it's just going to be harder to sort through. And so for people to be so vehemently like, oh, this is a screw job. Is it a absolutely torching, gut-wrenching loss for the Buffalo Bills? Like, you could see it. They held the camera on Josh Allen just staring off into the abyss for like 5 minutes after the game.
That was painful.
I was sick for him. It's a gut-wrenching loss. But I didn't feel as if it was stolen from him.
I was sick when it was 29-29 with 6 minutes to go, because I just knew,
yeah, this is gonna.
You've really set yourself up to get your heart broken here, Bills fans.
Yep, this is how it goes. And then when they get the field goal, you're like, okay, here we go. You tweeted it, Josh Allen legacy drive, right?
Now here's an interesting point from LLH on the YouTube channel.
LLH.
How do you make the whole ball a chip? Because any part of it is needed to break the plane.
Maybe you just, I don't know. Great question. Maybe you put one in the front and one in the back on the tip, on each tip.
Okay. That would solve a lot. Very few times
then you
is somebody breaking the plane with the side of the ball.
And then you just laser the line, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like, because the line that they superimpose on the television broadcast it's a whole thick 10-yard line, right? Like it's this big. What's the line? Like, what's the actual line? Is it the start of that line?
In that thick line,
I think
line.
It's the start of that line.
That makes sense,
right? And so, on the initial run through, I was like, yeah, he might have got it, but the call on the field was the most important thing, and they didn't get the call on the field because it was bang bang, and then you knew on replay afterwards that there wasn't going to be enough to overturn it, and that just So David writes in on the Equitable Bank inbox here.
Hello, David.
Says, thank you for this. There are people that are saying that it was absolutely obvious that Allen made the first down. No, it wasn't obvious. I think if they gave him the first down and they reviewed it, the call stays the same. I agree.
Right.
And the ref at the top of the screen ran in like it was a first down. But if you notice, when he got to where the players are, he was marking it short. Now that was on the third down play. On the fourth down play. And then he says also on the play where people think Dalton Kincaid made a first down, he was short. His elbow was down before he tried to extend the ball across the line. I think upon further review, they would have found that as well. But once again, I just think you have a better chance to have a call changed because there's just less of a scrum of people. It's more obvious, right? You can tell where the player's knee, elbow is. You can tell where the football is, right? And then we can respot it. And then we can measure. Right after that. But yeah, I just, I don't know. I guess I didn't Guess I didn't see what everybody else is seeing. But that's the way it goes. And then there was this, and here's another piece of confirmation bias or evidence that people are using that the Chiefs get all the calls and they're cheating.
Patrick gets all the calls.
Patrick gets all the calls. This is a play that doesn't involve Patrick Mahomes. Here's an interception that went the Chiefs' way on another bang play.
Field stance is called. Is a Kansas City catch. And first down and goal.
Oh, Tony, I know you're not going to agree with this one.
Seconds on the game clock.
I want to see. There's the hand. The white glove has to have possession of that. So right there, he doesn't get the left, and that ball hits. And I could see it because you can't completely say no, but that ball hits pretty. I don't know if you have possession for it. Gene?
The other thing you're saying is Worthy's pinning it there. Now when it comes down and it makes contact with the ground, does the ball move enough to say that caused loss?
So people are saying on that, and that was a Kansas City offensive player. You know, it looked like live to me just on the first watch that the Bills had an interception. I was like, whoa, they got an interception. But clearly it was a tie up. Right.
Okay.
And then people are saying, okay, well, the Chiefs caught it. The Chiefs came away with it, which is what you see oftentimes, like when, hey, we got a little tie up scrum here. Who's got it? All right. The Chiefs guy, Xavier Worthy, came out with it, but
they said shortly after that play, and I'd never heard this before either, tie goes to the offense.
But the ball hit the ground, Josh.
Yeah, yes.
How could the ball hit the ground? Once again, I don't like. Do we just forget the common stuff that we all know about these things when stuff like this happens, or when the Chiefs are involved? Like, it's not like so I had a friend text me and he said, ball hit the ground with no possession. And I was like, well, the ball was possessed by somebody. The ball was in firm control of a human or multiple humans.
Somebody
at that point.
Pinned it to the ground.
It's not like the ball was floating through the air and then it hit the ground and it got lodged. It's not whether or not the ball touches the ground. It's whether the ground affects the possession of the football.
Okay, I follow.
It did not. Like, unequivocally did not. Upon further review. The ball hit the ground, but it was being firmly possessed in somebody's arms, right? In what they determined to be in the Chiefs player's arm, in Xavier Worthy's arms. Like, it was controlled. It didn't move when it hit the ground. And people were like, well, we're just going to skip on by that. That's just another Chiefs thing. Like, no, but they called the Chiefs had the football. Tie goes to the offensive player. All right. It's not like they missed. They saw the ball hitting the ground on the replay. Nobody could miss it.
I would hope so.
But it was possessed. It was possessed, and the ground didn't affect the football at all. It didn't move it. It didn't dislodge it.
Okay,
right? I mean, am I missing something?
No, I think you're right. Actually,
I don't know.
I was of the belief last night that
the Chiefs were screwing us.
No, that I probably would have called it an incompletion.
I thought it had to be either a pick or a catch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there was any real way that was an incomplete pass.
You're showing some good work here.
Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. So, but then people just take this and they're just like,
there it is. There's the thing I've been looking for the entire game. There it is. Right
it
in front of
happened
my
again.
Eyes.
Classic Chiefs. And I don't know. I just don't think that's a great example of it. And it's a good example of what happens when they figured out their formula, right? They win a lot of games. They do get some breaks. At the same time, the Bills recovered like 9 of their own fumbles inexplicably somehow. Like we got Josh Allen flying over all around, jumping over stuff, fumbling the football, and somehow recovering it when he's upside down on a pile, right? Like that.
And
he should have thrown 3 picks on the first drive of the game,
right?
Josh Allen.
And he had a chance. He had the ball. He was trailing by 3 with time on the clock. And he pooped his pants.
You think he pooped?
That might be a little harsh. I believe
You'd be nice to him.
I believe Spags drew up a very nice defensive plan, which was blitz the hell out of him.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What told you that? The dots? So Ben Solak is the dots guy.
Dots guy.
He's the guy who will come in afterwards and he will say, well, and so now we're talking about on the last offensive play for the Bills, where obviously Josh Allen, he got that corner blitz, it went right in his face, and he had to just chuck it up for Dalton Kincaid, who should have caught it. After all of that, should have caught the football like easily.
I didn't realize until after the broadcast how close it was.
I mean, he should. They didn't really go back to it until the Chiefs were kneeling it down.
Yeah,
and so Ben Solak comes in, and he's the dots guy. He's like, I got the next gen stats. Here's what he should have done. He should have thrown it out to the orbit route to Khalil Shakir. He would have been open. They might have scored a touchdown on that play.
He shouldn't have.
It's like
that would have been
he would have had to have eyes in the back of his head,
and it would have been a throw completely against his body.
Yeah. I mean, he threw it up into the sky and nearly got a completion out of it.
500.
And that was the only thing he had the opportunity. He wasn't looking for anybody in particular. No. He just wanted to throw it up into the sky and hope that somebody came down with it.
I cannot hold on to the ball. I have to make a throw.
Yes. And people are like, well, he should have just thrown it to Khalil Shakir. It's like,
should have thrown it to the guy who was open.
He should have scored a touchdown on every play. Why didn't he do that? The dots say that he could have done that. It doesn't take into account any context whatsoever. The stupid dots. We have to get rid of the dots. Next gen stats, dots guy. I love the stats that we get off of this. Mm-hmm. But to go back and retroactively take all the emotion and the quick decision making and all that stuff out of this and say the dots said he should have thrown it to Khalil Shakir on the orbit route.
Pretty obvious, though.
And then he went back and was like, well, see, he threw it to him on the orbit route. Yeah, but he didn't have 6 guys in his face, and it wasn't fourth down.
He didn't have 3/4 of a second to throw the football.
Yeah. You like watching the game on dots? Shut up, dots boy. That's all I got to say about dots.
I'm kind of with you on this.
I can't stand it. Can't stand it.
In that one instance, like, oh yeah, should have thrown it to the open guy.
Yeah, definitely should have thrown it to the open guy. Anyway, the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, and we're all very happy about it. Go Chiefs!
Very happy to see great. You're witnessing greatness, isn't that what Nate Burleson lectured us all on last night?
Yeah, people do that, and they're like, "Hey, we need to really appreciate this." And I'm like, "Well, that's not how sports work."
I have rooting interest.
Did everyone gather around and all hold hands and say, we love this Tom Brady guy when Tom Brady was happening?
No, we said, bleep that guy, he's cheating.
We tried to find every possible thing to take him out. Every angle we possibly could to discredit him. This is what happens when you become good. Nowadays, anyway. We can discuss that point a little bit later on in the show as well. And we'll take a look back at some of our predictions, and from the Chiefs locker room, a Dylon alert.
From the Chiefs, I'm confused.
He's officially Patrick Mahomes.
Oh my gosh, he's foregone his eligibility, and oh my goodness,
he plays for the Chiefs now.
Wow, this is
according to Isaiah Pacheco's Instagram.
Well, that's the source.
But coming back, we'll check on Mike Schaefer, coming off of a rough week for Schaefer. Did you hear about Schaef's rough week last week?
No, is he okay?
Well, he passed some stones.
Oh no! You got to warn a guy before you say that.
I'm sorry.
Kidney stones.
I'm sorry. So we'll check in with Schaef and see if last night helped or hurt in the path to get better. Back after this on 1620 The Zone.
Come the Guardians.
Yeah, I have statistics to back up that we have people that listen.
Mike Schaefer.
Anytime there's sort of a debate as to who can do something, Happer would always put his name forth, for sure.
Husker 24/7 on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
I could be a star.
And we're joined now on the hotline by our friend Mike Schaefer of Husker 247. Schaefer, good morning. Happy Monday. How are you?
I am doing well. How is Connor Happer?
He's okay. Are you feeling better by now?
Yeah, I don't know. For those that don't know, I got my first ever kidney stone Thursday morning at 2 a.m. It felt like I was being stabbed repeatedly in the abdomen. I wasn't sure if it was an appendix bursting, so I ended up in ER. I was the third person that night in the Lincoln ER with kidney stones.
Oh no!
I don't know which one of us had the worst experience. Threw up like 7 times. Finally ended up on some pain relaxers like 2 hours later. It's amazing, Happer. I don't know if you've ever had any ER experience.
Nothing that dire. No.
Yeah, I've only been twice. One was precautionary after a car accident, and the other one was this. And I guess I was with my wife when she had gallstones earlier this year, and basically a very similar to the kidney stone experience. I would never want to work in the ER. They nothing phases them. There's this guy who's just in excruciating pain, puking multiple times in front of them while they're trying to get his insurance information. They don't even blink. There's no reaction to anything. Like someone could have 5 knives coming out of their head standing in front of them, and they'd be like, all right, well, is this Blue Cross Blue Shield you said? Okay, what's the group number? Oh yeah, let me get my card out right now while I feel like I'm dying on the inside.
Yeah.
Because we have to make sure the insurance, that's the big thing.
Well, and you are probably like, why do you guys care about my insurance so much? Fix me. And so you end up probably taking it out on them because your situation is very, very painful. No, God bless them. Yes.
Yeah, no, at the end of it, you just end up apologizing a bunch, and they're like, oh, yeah, you're agitated. You're in a ton of pain. We totally understand. You see this every day. And you're like, oh, yeah, I guess you would just be completely and utterly desensitized to everything if you work in an ER. And when you're the third person coming in talking about, abdominal pain or whatever it is, So that was my Thursday. I'm doing fine since.
Okay, good.
I haven't really needed the pain medication. I don't think it's passed.
Oh.
I was given a strainer to use to catch the kidney stone, so I got that in my life now. Can't say that I've used it. So there's that.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you feel better, and good luck when that happens. Whenever it
we can revisit. The
one time I went to the emergency room is when I got sniped in the throat by a baseball when I was pitching by a line drive. And
ooh.
Yeah, that was. I think I was, by the time I got to the emergency room, I was fine. I couldn't breathe for a little while, but they had to do some stuff to me, and I just had to chill. And so it wasn't nearly as excruciatingly painful as yours was. I just couldn't breathe a little bit.
We've never had the conversation as former pitchers about where we've been hit while standing on the mound throwing to the batters. So
yeah, the line drive to the throat really messed me up for a little while. I'll say that.
I would imagine that would be scary. I never had anything quite like that. I had my hat taken off by a baseball up the middle. But it didn't make contact with my head. It just took under the bill and just knocked it straight off my head.
Thank God. Yeah, that's good. Maybe you just didn't have as many as many line drives that came off of the bats of folks that you were pitching to.
I'm a larger individual than you. Even in high school, would have been a larger individual than you, making a larger target that moves less quickly, I'm sure. Even at that time, at 185 pounds at that point in time. But I took my fair share. They're usually right around the leg. Had a line drive go off the leg right to the first baseman for an out.
Hell yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
That's good. Yeah, you got an out of it, and you didn't think about it afterwards.
I tended to excel in giving up loud contact.
You would have had a bad what is it? Well, you would have had a good like pitcher BABIP, right? Batting average on balls in play, like you.
Yeah, because I don't know because
exit velocity was high, but you're giving up loud contact, but you're getting out, so that's all that matters.
Home runs and struck people out, and it was basically like it was lived on one edge or the other. That was the where I was at. There wasn't a lot of like dribblers that found their way through.
Schaefer, how do you feel about the occurrences of last night?
I don't love it. It certainly isn't. It isn't the Super Bowl I want, but it's the one that we get. I look at it like this: the two teams that probably deserve to win certainly in the Eagles' case, they were the better team for sure. But I think if you stack everything up and we don't get lost on officiating, I think the Chiefs were better than the Bills. It would have felt like if the Bills won that game, if Josh Allen goes down and they score that touchdown, they maybe would have stole it in terms of how they played in the totality of the game.
I agree.
So if that means anything, and then it would essentially be the two teams that look the best on Sunday that probably most deserve to won their respective games. And as much as I would much rather watch Josh Allen go for his first Super Bowl, we instead will see if the Chiefs can win their third in a rematch that literally is nobody wanted. These are worse versions of those same teams.
Mm-hmm.
I am not remotely excited about watching this game. I will watch it. I'm not going to boycott it. I'm not one of those people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have preferred something else. But what matters to me, and the biggest takeaway I have from all of it, is that I can't believe how blessed we are to get Bills Chiefs, and it lives up to the hype.
Again.
And they have played 4 times, and only one of those 4 was just like a runaway laugher. The other 3 were all very intriguing games that had big moments in them, and the players were great in them. And then the other thing is, and I find the Chiefs fan base massively annoying and obnoxious and needy and all of these different things. And whether they agree with that or not is immaterial. That organization has it's the best organization in sports.
100%.
The ability of their 45th player, the 45th active guy, has so much confidence that he can not only do his job, he will excel at his job. But they get such strong performances up and down their roster beyond their stars. Mahomes is going to be Mahomes. And Kelsey's going to be whatever he is at 30-some years old.
Yeah,
where
definitely not the same.
His biggest contribution is flopping. Whatever that is. But Chris Jones is a stud. Guys on that defensive line that aren't as good as Chris Jones are stud. Guys just make plays. The thing that I take away from this is how much respect I have for what Andy Reid has built, and the internal belief that the Chiefs have as a team is sort of awesome to watch. I don't remember feeling that way about the Patriots. And I understand there's a lot of context of how the Chiefs win games and the officials and all of that, whatever. When I watch their guys that aren't studs, they come up with plays. When I watch Kincaid drop that dying duck of a throw that Allen was lucky to get off, and even luckier to find a guy who clearly could have caught it and extended the drive, no part of me thinks that Noah Gray or Travis Kelce or Justin Watson or Hollywood Brown or whoever would have dropped it. A Chiefs player would have caught that, because that is the level of the organization's internal belief and its external play. It is truly remarkable. And,
yep.
That's the coolest thing about the Chiefs. That's the most, I'll wax poetic, positive about any of this, is that when you get to watch greatness and it trickles down throughout the roster, and it's not like, oh, wow, look at the angle of which Patrick Mahomes can throw. It's all of these guys just step up. That is truly awesome.
So people want to take that stuff and turn it into, oh, well, they get all these calls and they get all these breaks. And what you just said there is my exact response every time. I'm like, yeah, but they do so many things right, and they make all of the winning plays. We don't have
position to win games and not to lose games.
That's right.
It's what we talk about all the time. If you spin this to a Nebraska conversation, it's how can they get this? And it's you have to stop. You have to eliminate losing plays, and you have to have a winning mentality. And it's not that the Bills don't have that, but it's like we started this entire conversation. It would have felt like the Bills stole that game had they won it. And I don't mean that as a slight. I just mean the Chiefs felt like the better football team. And at the end of the night, they did get a call, and that call really, really mattered. They probably got 2 calls, really, if you want to argue it. But they still made plays. It's 3rd and 10 with the game on the line. They had the perfect play call. I don't know how the Bills never saw this coming because they'd had it run on them multiple times earlier in the game. Hit it.
Mm-hmm.
You get it to Peering. He's their 3rd running back. He's behind Pacheco and Hunt. And yet in that moment, do you think there was a hesitation in the world that ball was going to go there? Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it. No doubt about it. Shafe, quickly, a couple of Nebraska things before we get you out of here. Which, by the way, I could talk about. I don't want to have you on to just talk about the NFL, but I honestly, it works all the same. Is Nebraska? Are they still active in the transfer portal at the moment?
Well, I think they're always kicking the tires around. There's reports out there. I think on 3, I want to make sure I give credit to it. Peter Nakos and Steve Wilfong have Nebraska involved with an offensive lineman. We've been tracking that. I've been away from my computer, so I don't know if we have it confirmed yet with Husker 24/7, but I believe the validity of it. The Notre Dame offensive lineman that Nebraska is trying to host this week. I think they still have an opportunity to get somebody in here late. I don't think there's a lot of players. This could be the last potential one. But yeah, I think we're towards a point where portal activity is starting to slow down.
Well, and then you're also compiling the lists for the various recruiting activities over the next couple of weeks. Like this feels like a big moment for the upcoming 2026 class. You could start to set some seeds here. What do they have active as far as that's concerned over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, we've been able to confirm a handful of guys that'll be coming in. I imagine it's going to be a pretty sizable junior weekend as it always is. But some of the notables, they have a guy in Kelvin Obit who's coming from a school named Fruitland in Idaho. He is a big offensive lineman. He's been out here before. I think it's kind of important. He's coming back. Oregon has gotten involved. I think he's being recruited by a lot of teams around the country, even though he's hailing out of Idaho. And so for Nebraska to get a repeat visit, and for the fact that, Brunson and I watched this guy chum it up with a number of Nebraska commits during the pregame before Wisconsin. And that's always a really big sign because you want these guys to be comfortable, especially on that second visit, because that could beget a 3rd visit or a 4th visit. So that Kelvin Obit, someone to keep an eye on as an offensive lineman. They've got a tight end coming from Michigan that's pretty interesting as well. His name's Lincoln Watkins. He had met with Marcus Satterfield and got offered, and then the family decided they'd come down for this visit. The defensive back out of Florida named Dominic Turnbull, who Nebraska really likes quite a bit. He's 6'2", 185 pounds, likely a corner. And he's someone that's coming up here for a visit. He's already been to Wisconsin, Michigan. He's got a number of offers, and he's someone to kind of keep an eye on as well. So we've got a handful of really intriguing visitors. A linebacker out of Miami, Jordan Campbell, who's committed to Miami. He's coming up for a Nebraska visit this weekend as well. So they're going to have a handful of guys as we kind of push this towards 2026 and sort of beyond where we are at with the transfer portal.
All right, Schaefer, great stuff as always. Appreciate it. Good luck. Good luck with whatever comes next in your health journey.
Yeah, well, I just want to take this time to thank you for not making me talk about Nebraska basketball. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
We can filibuster with the NFL and visitors to avoid it.
Yeah, we don't have much need to talk about that anymore, I don't think.
There's not a lot of need. Not a lot of need at all.
See you, Schaefer. Mike Schaefer. Wow, he's out of here. Mike Schaefer.
Oh.
Husker 247. Gotta pass that stone.
Hey,
I don't like when people at various points in my life have described that experience to me, and it sounds unpleasant. Unpleasant, Josh, is the way I'd put it.
To say the least.
Yeah. So good luck to everybody fighting that fight.
We're with you.
We are. We stand with you. They need to have a kidney stones awareness day at some of our local basketball games.
I would sign up to help with that.
We're back with Josh's odd news when we return on 1620 The Zone.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
All right, Josh, let's hit that odd news.
Let's hit it. We begin where else? It's the only thing we'll talk about for the next 2 weeks. Kansas City.
I just heard Mitch Holtis's 1.5 minute long call of the Chiefs clinching another Super Bowl berth last night.
Adam Schefter wants you to believe that the referees are in collusion with the Kansas City Chiefs for some reason. I don't know why Adam Schefter would want that, but he apparently does. As he tweeted out, hey, for those of you saying that the Chiefs get all the calls, here's the stats. And it shows that the Chiefs get all the calls. So I don't know what he was trying to prove. I think he was trying to prove that they don't.
What did Shefty say?
You're gonna bring facts into this, Connor?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. What did he say?
What am I ever talking about?
I don't know.
Schefter reported that the NFL was considering expanding its review process to include certain penalties. He opened an article on ESPN.com by saying, for all those complaining that Patrick Mahomes gets too many calls, relief could soon be on the way. So if you were to randomly pull up on your run, you know, they outlawed the fake slide, but Patrick Mahomes allegedly does the pull up as he's approaching the sidelines so that he can get hit and gain a 15-yard penalty.
Again, they're gonna do away with that.
Allegedly, the referees are going to look at that over the. Chiefs fans all over the world took great offense to this.
Sure,
including Quick Trip.
Oh no,
that's right. The Royals jersey patch sponsor decided to cape up for the Kansas City Chiefs by tweeting the following. I have seen the Adam Schefter Chiefs tweets, and I have some thoughts. Time for a thread. Adam Schefter parks at the pump, then goes inside the gas station. Wow. Adam Schefter uses a napkin to dab grease off his pizza.
Wow.
Adam Schefter eats his ribs with a fork and knife.
Wow. Do you think these things are true?
I don't know. They seem pretty confident.
I heard that QT is brewing a beer now too.
QT beer?
Yeah,
their own beer.
Yeah, it's called Quitting Time.
QT, Quitting Time.
That's right.
That makes sense. So what do we think?
Shout out to QT for getting involved, man. You gotta never let a crisis go unused.
Has Adam Schefter been thoroughly roasted now?
Yep, got him. What do you think about parking at the pump and going into the gas station?
I do this at a couple different locations around town when I know that parking close to the building is sometimes difficult to get out of that spot because it's such a heavily trafficked area.
And there's not a high demand for the pumps.
Right. I would never take one of the final gas pumps.
But I'm using the pump. I'm using the pump, and then after I'm done pumping, I go inside. I feel like that's okay.
Oh, right? That's fine.
Okay.
I will sometimes just use it as a parking space.
Okay, I don't really do that. You're going to get roasted by QT.
Oh, well. I don't dab my napkin. I have eaten ribs with a fork and knife before because
dear Lord,
I don't like getting my hands all I don't regularly. I have in the past, is all I'm saying.
Interesting. You don't want that on your resume, Josh.
No. But I shared a vulnerability with the audience.
Thank you.
All these years later, I still can't say vulnerability.
People will still make fun of you, though.
That's okay. That's what I'm here for. There's another team in the Super Bowl, Connor. I don't know if you heard. We haven't talked about them at all.
No, I don't think we're going to either.
Okay. The Philadelphia Eagles. They have a famous former player named Jason Kelce.
Yeah.
Who works for a formerly famous television network, ESPN. Yes, he does a lot of things. Get to the story here, article. So when Kelce was presented with the opportunity to compete in a bench press competition with a young Philly fan, there was no question that Jason Kelce would say yes to something being photographed, filmed, because God, that guy's in front of a camera all the time. The young man Xander was able to pump out an impressive 12 reps on the bench before Kelsey told him.
At what?
I
two
don't
plates,
know.
225, like the
don't know.
standard combine weight?
I don't have the numbers.
All right, hang on.
I also don't have the age of Xander.
All right.
I'm told he's young. He pulled out 12 reps. Kelsey told him, I'm going to kick your butt now. And
it looks like one plate.
Jason.
So that's like what, 145?
Yeah, that sounds right. Jason did his first 10 reps in rapid fire succession.
Jason Kelsey couldn't do 12 reps at 145. He was in the NFL last year.
He then began to struggle, and in the upset of the century, maxed out at 11 reps on the bench, one shy of young Xander.
Okay.
I'm guessing he threw the competition.
Yeah, okay. 100%.
I haven't even seen the video, and I'm guessing that he just...
There's no chance that he lost to that little boy.
Wanted to make the child feel good about himself, because that's what Jason Kelsey does.
Okay, all right. We don't... Yeah. Good bit, but you're not fooling anybody, Jason Kelsey. Good try.
And as we tend to... more and more on Mondays, you weren't here last Monday, Connor.
That's right.
We check in on Green Bay men's basketball.
Oh, we do this now?
Yeah. They've lost 17 in a row with Doug Gottlieb as their head coach.
Let's check their Kemp bomb.
They're 2-20. That one win is an exhibition. Oh, no. Okay.
No, Western Illinois and Sui.
Yes.
Or Sayui. Southern Illinois, Edwardsville.
That's right. Yes. Green Bay has lost 17 in a row.
Ouch.
And
339 on Ken Palm, folks.
That's pretty low.
Usually you could control, you don't have very good players, so it's tough to score, right? Mm. But you could control your effort and you could control how closely you guard teams. Well, their defense sucks. 354 in the country, one of the worst teams in the country at defense.
Well,
interesting.
I think Doug Gottlieb, as a great coach, and you also missed this last Monday. I told the story of how I wouldn't walk down the hallway to meet Doug Gottlieb at a different radio station I used to work at.
Yeah.
Austin had never heard that story before. He was fascinated by it. I'm a fascinating individual.
Well, I wouldn't walk down the hallway from any.
Doug Gottlieb has figured out why Green Bay might be so terrible at basketball this year. He brought out a ladder and measured the hoops Saturday before their game with Cleveland State and found out that they were, in fact, not the full 10 feet.
Wait, are you serious?
Yes. He has lost 18 in a row, called opponents, nobody you. He brought out a ladder, and he himself got the tape measure and checked how high the rim was on Saturday.
And he found that it was not
the
regulation.
The game was delayed. The game will start at 2:09 today. Slight delay as they had to adjust one of the baskets in Cleveland, said Cleveland State play-by-play guy Brian.
See, this isn't gonna help.
No.
You go on the road and you start measuring the hoops.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's still kind of wild that it wasn't 10 feet. Wow.
Ooh, not going great for Dougie.
Yeah. People are not gonna take that well.
Hope the ratings are good for the radio show.
Maybe have a little bit of pull and win some games before you start getting the tape measure out on the road. That's all.
Wow.
Doug.
Doug Gottlieb suggests he does no prep for his radio show.
Just gets on the mic and rips it,
Yeah.
man.
Wow.
That's hard.
That's difficult. Yes.
It's a hard thing to do, Josh, as you know.
Yes, I do know. I
would not advise that.
No, you're not going to want to go that route. You're going to want to go the prep route.
Josh, thanks.
Thank you, Con.
That is indeed the odd news. Plenty coming in the noon hour, including big movements in the Big Ten, hoops, and more on 1620 The Zone.
He gives you the latest sports news, interviews, and life-changing commentary with a smile on his face. Because he wears those ticklish underpants.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
That's right, we're back. I am the only one billed on this show as a person who has ticklish underpants. Why don't they make one of those about you, Josh? Interesting
that's a good question.
Interesting that they don't.
Yeah.
Have that. That's all I'll say. Sure.
He eats his ribs with a knife and a fork. It's producer Josh on the Connor Happer Show.
Yeah, you need a hype video.
Yeah.
Or a hype sound, at least. Here comes Josh Hodson. He went to a basketball game.
His kid loves Ryan Kalkbrenner.
Many do.
Yeah.
Many Jays fans love Ryan Kalkbrenner. Many other people are saying he's just big. What's to love about him?
I would disagree.
I'd say he's one of the few people ever in the history of college basketball to have 2,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. A feat he accomplished this past weekend.
He did.
We'll talk about the Jays as we continue on with the show. But before we go forward, Josh, we must go back.
Let's go back to the gap.
We love taking victory laps when we have the opportunity to. And so I would like you to watch along with us this clip from this very show on a segment called NFL Reaction Overreaction.
Oh, that's a good segment. Yeah.
On December 3rd.
Okay, that was a while ago.
When in the NFL season was December 3rd, Josh?
We can look this up.
I will find it for you.
Okay.
I can tell you that it was going into coming off of week 13.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 4 weeks left in the regular season. There's 3 rounds of playoffs yet to be played. And here was what was said on that segment of that show on that day.
With all the potential fun and exciting new matchups on the table, we will end up getting a 17-13 Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl.
That's right. That's a perfect reaction.
Yeah.
Great take by the writers. The NFL has said we have to do everything possible to make sure the Super Bowl is the worst thing we've ever watched. This is our life now. We went through a nice run of exciting Super Bowls, and now we're in a horrible run of ass Super Bowls.
It is hilarious.
And it's all the same teams every year.
Right.
Oh, what's
That's
that? Chiefs,
the
Niners,
thing.
Chiefs, Eagles. Perfect. This is all the Chiefs' fault for the record.
17-13 Super Bowl between two marquee franchises is not necessarily ass, but boy, I'd have trouble getting super excited over it.
No. And here we are. Josh, are you getting super excited for the Super Bowl?
This is going to shock you. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I've known this is coming for 2 months now.
We've been saying it to everyone who would listen as well. And
it
is not meant as a slight to the two teams who have found their way to the Super Bowl.
Schaefer was right. They are the two
best teams. And what I appreciate about them is great. Like, it takes a deep appreciation for those teams because of the way they go about their business, not only in the style of football, but I mean, Schaefer was alluding to this, the belief and the confidence they have in themselves, 1 to 50, whatever on the roster. Like, we're going to put guys in position for success, and they are going to go out and make the plays. And they always do. Of course, the Eagles are led by Saquon Barkley, and of course, the Chiefs are led by Patrick Mahomes, and those guys are really great players. But their defenses are incredible, and they make winning plays. They get first downs when they need first downs. They manage the game correctly. They're never out of it. Even though they're not the explosive versions of themselves that they were when they were meeting in this game 2 years ago. But I would argue that these teams are more difficult to beat, as the Bills found out.
They've won like their last 17 one-score games.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible.
They figured out their formula to be able to win football games.
When coaches talk to the
Against
sideline
everyone.
reporter and the sideline reporter says, "Well, what do you got to do, coach?" And the coach says, "Well, somebody's going to have to make a play."
Let's go make a play.
And you're always sitting at home and will go, "Well, that's awfully vague. What does that mean?" The Chiefs always make a play.
A lot of
someone
teams,
on the team makes a play.
Yeah, a lot of teams, they want to, they have their path, right? They have their path to victory. Especially if like you're the underdog in a game, like the Commanders. That was definitely the case yesterday. You have your path. You have the way the game needs to go in order for you to win. And we can say those things about the Chiefs and the Eagles, but the truth is, it doesn't matter. They can win a lot of different games. They can win games that take a variety of different paths. They could look like the worst team. And as the game plays out, they could look like the worst team. And that certainly wasn't the case for either of those teams yesterday. But there are many paths in order for them to win football games. And that is really what gets you to where you want to go.
And
the Chiefs have figured that out. They've made this awesome transition from being the explosive, fun, Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes, weapons everywhere, Travis Kelce, they are Mahomes making these sidearm throws and behind his back and with his eyes closed or whatever, to they're just a really, really good football team that does a lot of stuff right.
And they've got that Tiger effect thing going on right now where if it's late, the game is close, you're going to start thinking like, oh my gosh, we're close. We've got a shot here. I hope I don't blow it. And then, hey, game's over. You've lost.
Here are some other things that were brought up on as I was perusing and I was trying to find the day in which we proclaimed first that it was going to be a Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl, which ended up being December 3rd. I was combing through some other NFL overreactions, and here's some highlights. November 19th, the writers were not sure if the Chiefs were going to be the 1 seed anymore. They said, wow, the Chiefs aren't going to be the 1 seed anymore. Do you agree or you disagree with this? And I said, I disagree. They will be. They will be the 1 seed.
Okay.
Because of what I just said. December 3rd, also, the writers said, they proffered the idea, quote, it's time to put some respect on the Vikings name.
Oh, no.
Connor Happer, quote, no, it's not.
Ah.
Admittedly, I did later, I think, fall into that trap. But that one held true. Kenneth writes in, he says, yep, until someone proves they could beat Mahomes and Reed in crunch time, they're the kings of the mountain. King of the castle. King of the castle. King of the castle. And that's why you feel so bad for Josh Allen. Like, number one, we love Josh Allen.
Seems like a really nice guy.
Seems like a great guy. All those things. But you're gonna have to really grab it from them if you're gonna do it. And nobody's done it. They don't screw up, and they make plays in the moments where they need to make plays, and they have a bunch of stick-to-itiveness. And that is enough to reach yet another Super Bowl for the Kansas City Chiefs. I just heard Mitch Holtis's call for the first time. Like I said, it was 90 seconds long, and you'll probably listen to that and you'll think, boy, I really don't like this. So we're not going to play it.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to play it, unless you have it. It's the Chiefs social media.
I don't have it. We were actually not allowed to use Mitch Holtis's call the AFC Championship game.
Oh, we can play it now.
You have to be very close to the Kansas City area to garner those rights.
I think it's just one station, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, you can play it off of the Twitter now if you want to. We do have that now.
Should we? You say it's going to anger people.
It might anger people, but we love rage bait on this show.
We do love rage bait.
Okay. We love
Chiefs social media.
Rage baiting people.
At Chiefs.
Yep.
We're headed back to the Super Bowl.
Check it out.
You already know the Mitch Holtis line. I don't. That's why I'd like to play it on the radio.
Probably click on it.
Oh, hi. Let's sort a few things out here.
All right. Great. Poll question in the meantime is up at Happer Show. Do the Chiefs lead the league in stick-to-itiveness?
All right. Here's Mitch Holtis. Here's not Mitch Holtis. Let's unmute that tab. So many tabs.
They're going to throw it. They throw it in the left flat. Cut! It's Samaje Perine at the 30. First down! And up the left sideline. I love you, Samaje Perine. I remember when Brett Veach told me they picked him up. It's a gain of 18 yards. I poured water on my head. A great pickup by Brett Veach to get Samaje Perine. And the Kansas City Chiefs are going to pull this off. Again, going to a knee. You can doubt the Chiefs. You can dislike the Chiefs. You can disrespect the Chiefs. You're going to have to deal with the Chiefs being the first team in National Football League history to win back-to-back Super Bowls and go to the Super Bowl for a chance for a three-peat. The Kansas City Chiefs have just done something that's never been done, and the Kansas City Chiefs Kingdom rocket has gone past Pluto. The Chiefs win the AFC Championship 32-29.
Oh my God. Can we get Mitch an updated solar system?
Yeah, check your planets.
There are so many people in that booth.
Did they uncancel Pluto? Is Pluto back?
There's from my understanding, there's I believe it is pretty much like, hey, scientists, whatever you want to believe.
Okay.
Which is really weird because in other things, it's not whatever you want to believe.
Mitch is clearly a scientist who believes in Pluto.
Mm-hmm.
He went for it.
Poll question, do you believe in Pluto?
The Chiefs haters are sick today, and I don't blame them. I'd be sick if I was a Chiefs hater. That's why I have abstained from feeling emotion about the Kansas City Chiefs.
It really did help last night that I didn't get hope in the Bills. I resigned to this fate weeks ago that it was going to be Chiefs Eagles. It genuinely helped last night because I would have been enraged.
I was spending the majority of the game rooting for the team who was losing the entire. I was just like, all right, come on, Josh Allen, like get this first down, or find a way somehow. And I figured out later it's like, oh, this thing probably not going to go to overtime. I just wanted the most nail biting scenario that we could possibly get, and we almost got it. We almost got to overtime. Didn't end up getting there last night. So that's yesterday in the NFL. There's really no reason to talk about the other game because I don't know. Washington wasn't really ready for that.
Boy, they
wasn't really ready for that, were they?
They really wanted me to think that game was still within reach.
I know.
Jaden Daniels, hey, down 3 touchdowns. That's not much for Jaden Daniels late in the game. He's done it before.
Yeah.
No. Calm down, buddy. Blake Bortles made a conference championship game. It doesn't mean anything that Jaden Daniels is here, okay?
I don't think so. Let's take a phone call here on the hotline. We'll take a call from Doug. Hi, Doug. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good, guys. Hey, how are you doing?
Great.
Good? I really need some help with my Huskers basketball team. This is horrible, but that's not what I called.
Okay.
We can talk about that later.
We will.
So I went to the 2019 AFC Championship game in Kansas City versus the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to tell you, Patriots are my favorite team, and they've been my favorite team way back in the day when they did the Super Bowl shuffle, all that stuff, and against the Bears. So I've always loved the Patriots, and Tom Brady came along like stars aligned. Woo! But went to that game, and it was frigid. I took my whole family. We got tickets for like $100 a piece, and we sat up in the nosebleeds. And Arrowhead Stadium is crazy because it's so cold because it's made of concrete. So everyone is carrying in boxes.
That's right, cardboard.
Boxes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, what are these people doing? And they put it on under their feet because it's so cold.
Mm-hmm.
So we're there and we're watching the game, and I told my kids not to wear anything Patriot. And but whatever. We sat around a bunch of Chiefs fans, and of course they're doing their Chiefs thing. And of course there are a couple of Boston people behind us who are like saying ridiculous stuff.
Yeah,
my kids are younger, so I'm like, please do not, let's just so anyway. So the point being is, when the Patriots went up, with like 45 seconds to go, I'm like to my folks, I'm my kids, like, hey, let's get out of here. Boom, let's go. We're leaving. We got to drive back to Omaha tonight. And because the game started late, too, because it was overtime. And like, we're marching down, and my son's like on the phone. He's like, oh, my God, the Chiefs are marching. Chiefs are marching. This is going to, Dad, they're going to get in field goal range. And all of a sudden, guess what? They tied up the game, and which was crazy. But luckily, lots of other people had left also. So we go all the way down to field level. We did that spiral staircase thing, which is nuts. We get all the way down to field level, and we're like right there at the end zone. And the Patriots, Tom Brady to Rex Burkhead, like boom, 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 Edelman, and they march it down and they score the touchdown. I know the rules are different now, but it was crazy. And like, as a Patriots fan, Tom Brady beating Mahomes in his early days, I get it. He was early. It was so cool. It was awesome. And we as soon as they scored, we sprinted out of there too. And we drove home, got home to Omaha like at 1 a.m. But it was, that was probably the last team that beat, Kansas City in the playoffs. It's something that meant something was the Patriots and Tom Brady. But anyway, I just had to share that story. I was there. It was awesome.
Heck yeah, Doug. Thanks. Thanks for the call.
Well, that's a real Chris Farley story. Hey,
you went to the game. I don't know. It was. I mean, yes,
it was a good one.
Yeah, the Chiefs. They don't usually lose in the playoffs. They do not. We should have asked Doug if he stopped at the Platte City QT on his way home.
Everyone does.
I thought he would. I thought he was telling the story about how he left before the Patriots won.
I thought that's where it was
I
going.
was like, oh, man, we missed that.
Uh-huh.
I was like, going to be like, okay, no, they got there and they saw Rex Burkhead jump in and Patriots went to the Super Bowl. And then that started the villain arc for, I guess, Patrick Mahomes.
Boy, does that seem like a lifetime ago
It
that
does.
the Patriots were good?
I mean, it was at this point. Like,
because Tom's won a Super Bowl with Tampa since then. The Chiefs have won 11 Super Bowls since then. I don't know. My math is terrible.
The Chiefs have been in the AFC title game every year. They won the Super Bowl the next year. They lost the Super Bowl the year after that. They lost in the AFC title game to the Bengals the year after that. They won the Super Bowl the year after that, and they won the Super Bowl last year. And then they're going to probably win the Super Bowl again this year.
Boy, it sure seems that way.
I mean, it was a long time ago. The Chiefs have been at this for a long time now. That's part of the point that we mentioned with them and how they have grown into this team who doesn't do it in any like flashy ways anymore. They just get the job done. But yeah, the days of going to Arrowhead as opposing fans. There was a lot of blue in the house last night. It looked like.
Yeah. There was every time they went to a crowd shot, there was generally, oh, there's a Bills guy. There's a Bills guy.
Got some comments here.
Okay.
Charles writes in, that was a beautiful story.
Thank you, Charles. I agree.
J-Man.
Hi, J-Man.
Writes in, I think Doug may have gotten a B12 shot over the weekend.
Oh, that can do you wonders. Also,
TC?
Syringe emoji.
Yeah, syringe emoji.
I didn't know we had that.
Yeah, they got rid of gun emoji, but they still have syringe.
Okay.
TC, please, the call screener should be fired under the at the spot.
That's a bad take, TC.
We got a call screener. We'll fire him.
Well,
he's done. Consider yourself canned, guy over there.
We promote our best rider to call screener the other days of the week, and well.
There is one other NFL story that I'd like to talk about. Did you happen to eventually during the show? We'll have time. We're open, by the way, the rest of the show. No Sam today.
Is he okay? Does he have kidney stones?
Sam's fine. He did not have kidney stones.
Okay.
He had a prior engagement.
Good for Sam.
Did you read the Seth Wickersham, Dan Snyder check-in? Oh,
I just saw
God.
like the one pull quote.
And it was what, Josh?
I hate this, or something like that.
I have never enjoyed I've never enjoyed the tale of one person being so upset and sad more. That's what the whole story was. It was like, this guy he didn't want to sell the team, and he really, really hates how much success they're having after he has sold the team. But there's all these details in between. We can talk about it as we go on throughout the show today. But thanks for being with us. You're halfway here, so you probably already know that. Let's talk about that. The Big Ten news. How about Penn State going to grab a defensive coordinator from their biggest rival? Is Penn State ready to take that jump? We'll get to that next on 1620 The Zone.
Well, over the weekend,
in college football. Penn State trying to enter their hat in the ring of the big dogs in the sport. How do you do it? Big dog. How do you do that? Well, you go find the best defensive coordinator in the country, regardless of who he currently coordinates defenses for. Now, it was widely assumed that Jim Knowles would not return to Ohio State. Many asked about his sort of status in the latter portion of the season for national championship winning Ohio State.
But he had a very good defense, right?
A very good defense.
Yeah.
The best in the country,
Yeah.
some might say.
Yeah.
But it was weirdly, like, I tried to put those pieces together and I couldn't really figure it out, but it was asked a lot. It was like, hey, are you guys going to get him back on a contract? And everyone was just like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll find a way to get it done, whatever. So it felt like he sort of made it known that he was available. Knowles did. This is, of course, he was at Ohio State for a couple years, creating a incredible defense over the last couple here, and coming off of his tenure at Oklahoma State, where he turned around that defense in a hurry as well. And now he's going to go to Penn State, where he's going to earn over $3 million a year. Hello is right. Penn State needed a defensive coordinator after they lost Tom Allen to Clemson just a couple weeks ago. So is this a sign that Penn State is actually really going for it here? I think it's cool. I don't know. I'm sure that they would refute this. I'm sure that Penn State would say, come on, we're one of the big dogs, or we've been trying for all this time. But it seemed to me, just from the outside looking in, they've been mildly content just to be who they are for a while, which is a great program. A really, really good one. We're going to win 11 games. Probably going to lose to Ohio State, but we're going to take our best shot there.
Mm-hmm.
And in this new 12-team playoff, we're probably going to make the playoff and maybe have an opportunity to make a deep run. Like, we can be fine with what we are right now. But is it going to win us a national championship? And what is it going to take to get us a national championship? It just felt like Penn State was just going to be okay with doing what they were doing. Once again, which is very, very good. But this is the kind of thing that could enter you into that upper echelon. You got elite coordinators with Mr. Kotelnicki and you still have James Franklin. And then you got now Jim Knowles. I mean, I'm just saying, Penn State entering their hat into the ring here in the Big Ten, as far as, hey, we want to be one of the we could be Ohio State.
I mean, you already went to the semifinals and lost by a field goal.
But that was what they were. You know what I mean? This is
felt like their ceiling.
This is a move for, we should think that we can win the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an investment that proves that. So kind of groundbreaking, earth-shattering news over the weekend there out of the Big Ten.
I like the infighting. It's going to be good for.
I love that
conference.
I mean, just for a long time, Penn State
headbutting.
Just I'm not saying that they've laid down to Ohio State, but they've lost 7 in a row in the regular seasons. They've shot their shot and they've missed almost repeatedly against Ohio State, and now it's like, nope. We're here. We're going to be that team now, and you're going to have to deal with us, like your Mitch Holthus and the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's big news out of the Big Ten from this past weekend. So I appreciate Penn State going down that road. Meanwhile, in the Big Ten, let's check on Nebraska. What are they up to these days? Well, they announced some of their coaching salaries for a few of the staff members today. So Tony White was making $1.6 million last year. He's no longer here. He's now the defensive coordinator at Florida State.
That's right.
That's right. Remember Tony?
Mm-hmm.
He left. John Butler, who was on the staff last year as the defensive backs coach, will make $1.1 million.
All right. Saving money.
The 2026 season, he'll make $1 million this year, according to the contract that was released by Nebraska. Dana Holgerson will make $1.2 million.
And he takes over for the demoted Marcus Satterfield, who is still coaching tight ends and still making $1.4 million.
Really?
That's what that's what it says.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Josh, you can have a billion coaches, and you could have many duties as you want for them. And if you want to pay the coach $1.4 million to coach tight ends, then you are allowed to do so.
I'm going to need the tight ends to be really damn good, though, at that price.
See, I get it, but I also don't. I just I wish I cared about this stuff.
The program makes money hand over fist. It's fine.
I wish I cared. Like, when you tell me what an assistant coach makes, oh, he's the highest paid Husker assistant of all time. I want my ROI on this. It's also the going rate here too. And Nebraska's going to pay their coordinators now, each of them over $1 million, as they have been for the last couple of years. Just kind of what I mean. Look, Penn State's paying their defensive coordinator $3 million.
Yeah, $1 million coordinator isn't anything.
No, but they're also at the moment still paying their tight ends coach, currently listed with a $1.442 million salary. And I know that rustles some feathers.
We're going to hear that every Monday.
I know that rustles some feathers with people. Nebraska replaced Terrence Knighton with 2 position coaches. Phil Simpson, who will coach the edge rushers, has a $350,000 salary. New defensive backs coach Addison Williams, who takes the secondary position vacated by Butler, will make $625,000 for the upcoming season. John Butler, who coached that position last year, was scheduled to make $700,000 had he remained in that role for a full season. So you can, for the next season, you can move that money around any way you'd like, but that's what they're paying him. People react. What do you think about money?
I like money.
You guys don't have to have takes on this if you don't want to. I certainly don't care that much.
I couldn't imagine myself caring that much.
Alex and Lincoln writes in.
Hello, Alex.
So Sat will make more than Holgerson this coming year?
That's right.
That it appears to be the case as of right now. Unless I have this wrong, but I'm just reading it directly from an article from Sam McEwen at HuskerExtra.com. So I don't think it's wrong.
Guy knows his stuff.
Yeah. I don't know what the contract says explicitly because I'm not looking at it. I have to trust people like Sam.
Do a FOIA request, Connor.
I don't have the money to do a FOIA request.
Oh, it costs money?
Yeah, you have to pay money to do a FOIA.
I thought it was the Freedom of Information Act.
Well, you're free to do it if you have the money.
Wow. That doesn't seem right.
You're free to check out a book at the library if you have money.
That doesn't cost any money at all.
You got to pay for a library card, don't you?
No.
You got to pay to check out the book?
You got to give them like your name and your...
Oh, you're free to rent a movie on Amazon Prime digitally, but you got to pay them money.
That is true, yes.
Thank you. Sorry. It really doesn't cost any money to check out a book?
No. Why would it?
I don't know. I don't know. How do book rentals work? I just assumed it was like Blockbuster.
Here's my library card.
Yeah.
This tells you where the book's going.
Right.
I guess you have to...
There's a late fee.
No, there's actually not. Not in Omaha.
Not in Omaha.
Not other libraries, you'll hear the story. He turned the book 45 years late and he owed
$12. Right. Yeah.
No, not in Omaha.
Oh. Okay.
Because they decided that, hey, generally the people using the library don't have the funds. So
Mike writes in.
Hi, Mike.
Connor does not understand how libraries work. No, he does not. You don't have to pay, really. Not even like a buck.
No.
Just show them your card and say, I want this book, and then you go home with it.
I don't even show it to a person. I let the machine do it. I scan my card, I scan the book, and I walk out.
Wow.
I don't talk to another human being.
Josh, you go to the library?
Yeah. Frequently.
What are you checking out?
Checking out books, every now and then I'll check out a movie.
They
that
got
I can't
DVDs
watch for free. They do have DVDs.
And they let you just take them for free?
Yeah.
Do you give them back?
Yeah, I do.
Even though there's no consequence if you don't return it?
Yes, of course.
Huh. It's the honor system,
We
isn't
live,
it?
we live in a society.
Aaron says you do pay, but it's taxes. See, that's what I meant.
I guess.
That's what I meant.
I'm paying for that monstrosity on 72nd and Dodge. But you know what? That monstrosity is building and it's growing, and every day I drive by it, it looks different, unlike that vacant lot across the street.
That's not much going to go on that one this year. I don't think.
Just give Rod Yates more money. Allegedly.
Nick writes in on Twitter.
Hi, Nick.
Connor not knowing that it doesn't cost money to check out a book from the library is a microcosm of his unusual lack of knowledge of everyday life. Sometimes it leaks into a sports take.
Take your daughter to the library, man.
She can't read nothing.
You read to her.
We got books. We get the books from the internet. I don't know. They show up at our house all the time. We got.
I got you a book.
The only book. Yeah, we got one of those books. Was that from the library? And there's gonna be a late fee attached to it.
No. Bought that with my own money.
The only books we need right now for my daughter are the ones that make noise when you turn the pages.
Just like tissue paper inside the felt. Like
those are the only books that she needs.
That's right.
She eats the books. Yes. Everything straight to the mouth. Black Cat writes in.
Hi, Black Cat.
Is this library thing a bit? I made a bad analogy. I thought libraries were like Blockbuster. I don't even know what I was talking about before that led to the library analogy, to be honest with you. It probably wasn't even accurate.
Look, I understand people want to dunk on you right now.
I don't go to the library.
I'm glad we sorted this out.
I don't really need to know.
But I mean, I guess your wife probably knows, and later in your child's life, when it is time to go to the library, she would know how it works.
She probably knows.
Yeah.
She probably knows. I've never asked. I don't think she goes. I don't know if she has a card.
You want a book on tape? You download it right on your phone. You don't even have to go to the library. Just download the audio file.
Do they have music
phone
at the library?
Yeah, I think there are CDs there. I know there are audiobooks on CD if you want to do it that way.
I don't have a thing that I could put my CD in.
Right.
CD player, I guess they call those.
Generally.
John emails in.
Hi, John.
Thank you to Mayor Jean for the gift of a great library and books for free and no late fees. What a wonderful person.
That is not her doing. She's going to tell you that's her doing. Don't believe it.
Before we talk basketball,
you don't want to talk libraries more?
We could. I think we've exhausted it, right?
Do you have any more questions about the library? Now's the time to ask them guilt-free.
All right. So you go into the library, you have a card.
Yeah.
You give them your information. How much information do you give them? Just name, phone number, address?
Yeah. Okay. Maybe your social and an
Whoa! Address. No, thank you. No thanks. I already gave all my information to TikTok.
I'm sorry. I can't give it to you and TikTok.
I don't need a library to have it. That's for sure.
Maybe the social. I'm not sure about the social.
Okay. So then you go in there and you find the book that you want, and then you don't have to talk to anybody. You just walk out with it.
You scan your card, and they'll say, "Hey, scan the book." You scan the book. Well, do you want a receipt that tells you when it comes back, or do you not?
Are there any librarians?
Oh yeah, tons.
And they don't. What do they do?
They'll check it out for you. They'll help you find things within the library.
I'm not a huge self-checkout guy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then you read the book, and then you bring it back, and that's the game.
Yeah. It's a good game.
I pretty much get it. I just thought that it costs money.
No.
It doesn't cost any money for a library card membership.
No.
It's not like a gym or anything like that.
No.
Yeah, those
less rigorous.
Those are expensive. Okay. I think I'm.
You want to sit in a nice
no further
chair
questions, Your Honor,
and read the book? You can sit in a chair and read the book. You don't have to go anywhere.
Pedro writes in.
Hi, Pedro.
Hi, guys. Do you know if they still have VHS tapes at the new library?
Oh, I'm going to bet not. Pretty high-tech libraries nowadays.
Yeah, they have CDs.
If you want them. They have it digitally as well.
Aaron says, my God, this is hilarious. And you don't have to give him a social. If I remember right, I even got a cool card with the animals reading. Josh, show me your library card.
Okay. Let's pull out the library card.
Let me see it. Connor goes to a library would be great content.
It would be
Mike.
good video content. Mine's just green and blue. Got some shapes.
There's no animals on there?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'd do this bit. I'd go to the library.
Pretty good bit. Help out our city's municipalities.
I'd be like, whoa, it's free?
You mean I
could just walk out?
Walk out with this book?
I thought
Bill Simmons, the basketball book? I can just walk out
No,
with
I
it?
already listened to that.
They got sports books.
All right. Yep, I'm out of questions. No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay.
Glad we got into that, though.
I think you'll hear that in December.
That was not a best of segment, Josh.
That was absolutely.
I don't know about a library is a best of segment. Josh Peterson is joined the stream.
Hi, Josh.
Happer. I got a text about your library take and had to hop in here and rewind to check it out. This is incredible. Is this really common knowledge to everybody? They just know?
Yes. I'm sorry to be so matter of fact about it.
It's amazing.
Normally I have my guys back.
The honor system is something that you just don't see very much anymore.
Agreed. Yeah, no.
You know?
This is
like when
the
I
last
checked out
bastion of the honor system.
When I checked out a book in library class at school, that makes sense. They knew where I was. Like I was a kid. I wasn't going to pay them $1.35 to check out the book from the library, get it back at the end. So that made sense to me. But a public library, anyone could just come in, have a library card, take the book wherever they want. They could poop on the book if they wanted to, and then bring it back.
Many of the unhoused who use our city's libraries do, I imagine.
The unhoused.
That's why they got rid of the downtown library. Too many homeless around.
Do you have any further questions for me about my lack of knowledge of the library? I never thought about what happened at a library. I know about the concept of a library. I get it. I just thought I just figured why do they give you the card? They probably charge you money, right? You know? And then you pay a monthly library fee at the end of the month. So I'm paying the same amount for you as library via taxes as you are, and you're actually using the library?
Yes, you're wasting your tax dollars.
Unbelievable.
You're not going to shame me. You're the one that's wasting your money.
I know. Unbelievable to myself. DG writes in.
Hi, DG.
So Happer has never been to a public library? No, I don't think so. Unless I took us there in school once.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, you're probably of the age that you had like a computer in your house growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a little older. We got a computer in 1999 at the Odson house, which was a little later than everybody else, admittedly.
Yeah, I mean, 1999, I would have been like 7.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty much my whole life we had a computer. Aaron writes in on at 1620 The Zone on Twitter. If you have a library card, you can get passes to visit attractions for free around Omaha,
That's
such
true,
as
too.
Zoo, Luminarium, Children's Museum, etc. Holy crap.
You got to act quick. They go really quick, but yeah, you can get free zoo passes, free passes to the Luminarium.
Holy smokes.
You should go to the Luminarium.
I don't really do anything except for sports.
Good playground. at
Does
the
the library
Luminarium.
have basketball? Baseball?
You know, there is a library by your house that has a rec
Basketball?
center attached to it.
I know about that one. I've been to the rec center part of it, never the library,
Okay.
obviously.
But if you just walk across the hall, you can go to the library and they'll just give you books.
That's crazy. I'd rather play basketball.
It's actually one of the nicest libraries in town, the one by you.
Back after this on 1620 The Zone. right, so apparently all you guys go to the library. Just all the book people in my life are always like, oh, yeah, I read books. I love reading books. Can't wait to read a book when I go home. And they're like, kind of annoying about it. They're like, books.
It is a bit like CrossFit.
You're like, I'm a books guy.
Yeah.
And so I got all these people reaching out. It's like, really? You don't know how this library works? And
many people think what we just did was a bit.
No, I've never been to a library. Except for at school when I was learning about libraries and the codes and the whatever.
Sure. Dewey Decimal System.
The Dewey Decimal System. Yeah, Kenneth, thank you, nerds.
All right.
Absolute nerds.
You got one guy on your side.
Absolute nerds. Listen to this show. Talk about libraries.
Connor gets a library card. Would be a good piece of web content.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't.
You asking the librarian a bunch of stupid questions would be great.
I do have some questions.
You mean this is free?
So I can just walk right out of here with this.
This stack of 12 books. I can just take them. I think they ask you to limit it to 5, but they really don't care.
Wow. I don't think. Well, I mean, I don't read books either, so there'd be no reason for me to know about the library.
Check out a movie. You like movies? There's movies about planes there.
I just watch the movies that are given to me
on the TV.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, doesn't that fit what you know about me, Josh?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
The TV tells me to watch something, I watch it.
Hey, Sully's on right now.
Exactly. I'll watch it every time.
Tommy Boy's on Paramount.
Catch me if you can's on.
Hand ready.
Hand ready. Sure. Thank you, television. Great suggestion. I'll watch that again.
Mm-hmm.
What we were going to talk about was the Dylon alert.
Dylon?
Yeah, people have taken another opportunity to make fun of young Dylon.
What?
Yet again. Go ahead, hit me a Dylon. He's in the red up top there.
Dylon.
Dylon, what are you up to? Well, he's taken his Patrick Mahomes cosplay to the next level. He's joined the Kansas City
AFC Championship.
He won the AFC Championship and has joined the Kansas City Chiefs. Last night, there were many dignitaries and luminaries in the Chiefs locker room for the celebration, like Taylor Swift, Michael Bublé, and Dylan Raiola, and Dawson Merritt. Future Husker, or current Husker, I guess, Dawson Merritt. And then Isaiah Pacheco did an Instagram, and he was like, hey, look, it's me and this guy.
It's not Patrick Mahomes.
It's not Pat, though. It was Dylan Raiola. He's not helping himself, is he? He's never going to.
I don't think he wants to.
I don't think he wants to either. He's never going to get past the allegations of trying to be like Patrick Mahomes. Because people are going to find out. Me and Mitch were talking about this morning. Wait till people find out where Nebraska opens their season.
Yeah, wait till
Just wait.
ESPN gets a hold. Wait till people.
No,
the media.
Here's my
finds out.
prediction: somebody in the summer will do like Tom Fornelli or something like that. Will do like a tweet in April, and he'll be like, "Hey, I was just doing a quick run at the Big Ten. Did you know that Nebraska opens their season at Arrowhead Stadium against Cincinnati?" And then people will say, "Yup, classic Dylan Raiola. He's trying to be like Patrick Mahomes."
I sort of thought the clip from New Heights would go a little more viral, where Travis is talking about Dylan, like, "Oh yeah, little Mahomes is gonna play at our stadium."
Yeah,
but he sort of downplayed it a little bit.
Don't worry, we'll do this whole thing again in just a couple months.
Absolutely.
People are not. I don't know if they're mad about it. I don't know if they're unhappy about it. I'm not sure.
Patrick Mahomes
But
and
it is
Travis
a topic.
Kelce will do some sort of weirdo bet.
So much so that there was a tweet from @SportsCenter last night. SportsCenter, the thing that people used to watch.
Are you sure
when it was good?
It wasn't not Sports Center?
It wasn't not SportsCenter, and it wasn't like
Sports Centre,
Sports Fatty or something like it was SportsCenter. They grabbed Isaiah Pacheco's video and said, quote, "That ain't Pat," crying, laughing face emoji. Every tweet's got to have an emoji, by the way. That's ESPN rules. Nebraska QB Dylan Raiola was in the Chiefs locker room after their AFC Championship win. This tweet got 2.8 million views last night as it was tweeted by @RealSportsCenter.
It's good for the program.
10:04 p.m. Yeah. He's never beating the allegations, though.
No.
This is something that we're always going to have to deal with. And his close proximity to Patrick Mahomes is not going to allow us to get any sort of gap from this. They have the same, quarterback coach. In fact, the reason I think I would assume that he was in the locker room was as a guest of the Merritts. Dave is Dawson's dad, as a coach on the Chiefs. People also forget that Nebraska's current sitting defensive line coach is also a coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. Terry Braden.
He does both?
At the moment, he does. He will stop doing the Chiefs job after he's done coaching the Chiefs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's recruiting. He's working the phones for Nebraska. But he's not here yet. He's coaching for the Chiefs.
Hey, we're about to blitz the hell out of Josh Allen on 4th down.
What do you think about coming to Nebraska?
Any chance? Are we in your top 5? Can I call up Hayes Fawcett to make you a graphic?
I got you.
Blitz!
I can make that happen for you. Yep. So that's what Dylon is up to. He's cooking.
I like this kid.
He just keeps being near Patrick Mahomes. This is not going anywhere all summer into the fall. Just imagine if he's good next year.
Now that'd be something.
Yeah. Yep. And then he'll go through the whole Patrick Mahomes arc of like, oh wow, he's doing crazy sidearm, insane throws.
Arm slot. Everybody in Husker media is going to be talking about arm slot.
And then like 2 years later, it'll just be like, oh wow, this guy just manages the game. He just makes winning plays. He just hits his running back on flat routes all the time.
Oh, he pulls up when he runs out of bounds, just so someone will hit him and he'll get a 15-yard. That's how smart he is. He's just smarter than everybody.
That's how this is going to go. All right, Josh, before we take a break here, I have something that I'd like to give to the people.
To the people?
Yeah. Have you heard about the Omaha Supernovas?
I have heard about the Omaha Supernovas.
The Omaha Supernovas play a home game at the CHI Health Center on Friday against the Columbus Fury.
I hate the Columbus Fury.
I hate them too. And we want you to share that hatred with us and express it at the game on Friday, January 31st.
Okay.
Because if you call right now
respectfully
in our caller number 4 to 402-951-1620, you're going to the game. Now, Josh, you'll have to tell me, is it 2 tickets or 4? Because it's usually one or the other. I don't think it's one.
No, that would be very unorthodox for a radio contest. If my login page would work.
Let's just say 2 for now.
2 for now.
We're going to get you into the game. 951-1620. And give us a call, and you're going to go to the Supernovas game on Friday.
You want to be there. It's where all the cool people are going to be.
Caller number 4. Josh, how many tickets?
Let's say 2.
All right, we'll start with 2, and you might win 4. 951-1620. Call right now. We'll be back after this to talk some hoops on 1620 The Zone.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
All right, welcome back. We're the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you as he's hooking up our winner with Supernovas tickets for Friday. Congratulations to our winner, Jim. Well done, Jim. You called at the exact perfect time.
You did it.
Caller number 4. And he won tickets. Just tickets to the Supernovas game on Friday. It's a hot ticket these days, Josh.
Well, yeah, they're setting attendance records all the time.
All the time. You want to be a part of that. So we got you covered. And we might have some more opportunities for you to win your entrance into that game as we go on throughout the week. Josh, let's talk about basketball. Jays,
hoops.
From henceforth, the Jays go first. Unless the Mavs, overtake.
It could at this rate.
I suppose it could.
They keep winning.
So it's January 27th. It's nearly February. We are heading into crunch time of the season. Obviously, it's a big week coming up for Creighton. They have Xavier at home on Wednesday. They have Villanova on the road on Saturday. Both of those teams are capable, middle of the pack type of teams who really would enjoy a big pelt on their wall. Of course, Xavier getting that win against UConn at home this weekend. They've gone through. So Xavier is going through a stretch right now where they had the toughest start to the league out of anybody. They have already played UConn twice. They have already played Marquette twice. And their last 3 games, 2 out of 3 of them are wins, by the way, against Marquette, St. John's, and UConn. Their only loss was a road overtime loss to St. John's. So they could, they could get just about anybody. It's a big game this week for Creighton. But let's zoom out a little bit and ask the question that I feel like that we ask right about this time every single year. Is it time to rethink Creighton's ceiling? I swear to you, I asked this exact question on a very similar date last year.
Well, it's changed a few times over the course of the season.
It usually does. That's kind of been the way these things have gone. Like
high hopes at the beginning of the season. Oh, Pop Isaacs goes down. Oh, we need to readjust.
But what happens every single time?
Mac coaches them up.
They find a way. Last year, by the way, on January 27th, they had just beaten DePaul by 100 points at home. I think that was the pink out game last year. And then they were about to take a couple losses in a row against Butler and Providence. You're like, okay. And then things sort of straightened out for them. Now that team, we thought going into the season that they had a higher ceiling. This season, I think we thought at the beginning of the year, I don't want to speak for everybody here, but like this is sort of where I was at going into the year. Yeah, I think they're back end of the top 25, capable of the second weekend type of team, but it's got to be the right matchup for them when they get there. And then we totally devolved after Vegas and Pop goes out and, the loss to Georgetown, I think, especially right before Christmas there. People were like, you could kiss the NCAA tournament goodbye. Yeah, they beat Kansas, but that was with Pop. I just don't know what this group is going to be. At that point, they had lost to Nebraska. They had a tough showing in Vegas when stuff just, Ashworth missed the first game against San Diego State. Kalkbrenner got injured in one of those games. And, they ended up walking out of there with just one win. Lost to San Diego State and Texas A&M. They lost to Alabama, but made it competitive on the road. And they lost to Georgetown. I think that really shook people. So you're looking up and you're like, well, we're 0-1 in the Big East and we're 7-5. And I don't know what's going to come next. And so that's where, I don't know if that was the low point or if after Vegas was the low point for people or after Nebraska was the low point for people. But whatever it might have been, I think people were sort of thinking, man, are they even going to make the NCAA tournament this year? Well, as is tradition, they have course corrected. They beat Villanova. They beat St. John's in a grinder. They had a chance to beat Marquette on the road. They beat Butler, Providence, UConn DePaul, Seton Hall on Saturday, and have a big week upcoming with Xavier and Villanova coming up now. And you still have home matchups back-to-back in the first week of February or the second week of February with Marquette and UConn. So what is this team? Let's take a look at what has changed. Notably, this is the first thing. This isn't the only thing, but it's the first thing that I sort of thought of when I thought, okay, when you think about ceiling, you think about what can players give you? You know what Ryan Kalkbrenner and Stephen Ashworth are going to give you, right? Their ceiling was always going to be their ceiling. Really, really, really good players. Kalkbrenner, a defensive player of the year and a national player of the year candidate. So you're always going to have a certain floor when you have him on the roster. And that's why I cautioned people earlier in the year. I'm like, guys, I don't know. Like, I never got to the point where like they're screwed. They have Ryan Kalkbrenner. That's the thing that people neglected to sort of think about, in my opinion.
But Nebraska shut him down.
They did. And so I never got too low with them just because they have him. But if Ashworth was going to be hurt or beat up the whole season, like that changes your deal a little bit. But you sort of keep them aside. It was always going to be about the other pieces. Isaac Trout at the beginning of the year was like borderline unplayable. Fedor wasn't in the equation. Mason Miller was becoming like unplayable. Jemiah Neal, how's that piece going to fit in? The puzzle is just not working, you know? Talking about going back to a couple weeks ago. And then other pieces on the roster, like, you know, Jackson McAndrew, he's young, but what's going to happen? Then you lose Pop. And what's Jason Green really going to give you?
Jason Green.
And like, that's it. That's your roster basically at that point. And it just, every single one of those guys that I mentioned, but I'm mostly talking about Neal, Trout, Mason, and Fedor. Those guys. With Jackson, you know, coming into his own as a freshman and carving out his role. And you know what? I shouldn't forget Fred King either. Fred King has been good. And he doesn't get much opportunity just because Kalkbrenner is out there every single minute of every game. But his minutes have now turned into not so much I need to avoid drowning, and like it's like he could be an asset for them in the minutes that he plays. He gives you energy, and he seems to give Creighton a little bit of a spark when he goes into the basketball game. Each one of those guys, they've carved out a role and they've gotten better. The Isaac Trout thing is real. And I'm not like, I don't think you approach it like you go into every game and you expect him to knock down 3 threes or something like that. But it happened again on Saturday against Seton Hall where he got the 4-point play and he had this kind of like nuclear couple minutes. He had 10. They didn't need him much at DePaul, but his minutes were good.
He's a little spark plug.
He had the UConn game where he made 2 threes, and then he made the 4 threes against Providence the week before that as well. Like, he is an asset for them at the moment. And then if we're talking about ceiling, here comes Fedor Zugic, who is getting more minutes. Didn't play against UConn. Is starting to get more minutes. They got him some extended run with the top guys against DePaul, and they got him some extended run against the top guys, or with the top guys against Seton Hall. Now, those are 2 teams who were at the bottom of the league, so keep that in mind. But you can tell that he is a playmaker when he has the basketball in his hand, and he is a shot creator, and he's starting to put the puzzle together a little bit defensively as well. That changes your outlook a little bit. This is what people thought Creighton was going to get right away when they got him eligible right before Christmas there against Villanova. And he just wasn't ready to provide that yet. It takes a second. And now you're starting to see it a little bit more. He could be an asset for them. Mason Miller is on this insane streak where his plus minus continues to be out of control positive. His 13, he gave him 13 minutes. I think his plus minus was 11 or more over the weekend. Same thing in his 17 minutes against DePaul. So he affects winning without shooting the basketball. He's only taken 5 shots in his last 4 games, and he's made 2 of them. But you could play him, right? And so this is the thing that we ask with this group every single year. What is their ceiling? I think it's higher than I probably thought it was. I mean, certainly when they were losing and everybody was down on them, but possibly even at the beginning of the season. Would you be shocked if you saw this team win 2 games in the NCAA tournament?
No, not at all. They've got the centerpiece and the other piece, good guard play.
So, I don't know if there's that much of a difference between what I just said. Would you be shocked to see him win 2 games in the NCAA tournament, and maybe they could win 2 games in the NCAA tournament? There's a little difference there. There's a little gap. So I don't know if it's like this huge. Their ceiling is never going to be as high as it was each of the last 2 years, right? In my opinion. But like you said, Josh, they have a National Player of the Year candidate who, is really starting to take all that and understand that. Ashworth does a great job, and you know what he's going to give you every night. But the role players, I think, have changed things for Creighton a little bit, and Jemiah especially. We mentioned him, but we didn't really go through it and what he's done and what he's become. That's a guy who you saw him at first and you saw his production and what he was at Arizona State, and you're like, I just don't see it. Like, how does this fit? How does this fit? And for a guy who, I'll go to his page here real quick, but he shot 27% from 3 at Arizona State last year, 27.5%, 39 out of 142. He had to operate a lot with the basketball in his hand, and he had to have a lot of volume for them. It's just not the kind of player that you look at and say, that's a Creighton guy. Because you look at a Creighton guy and you say, oh, he's efficient, he's careful with the basketball, and he doesn't have these possessions where he's just dribbling around and he doesn't have to make all the shots for them. And yet it took some time. And I think it was an adjustment at first, but they've taught him how to get the right shots, and they've got him to the point where if he needs to kind of have a few moments and a few possessions where he needs to, be heavy with the basketball in his hand, then he can do it. The 3-point shooting has ticked up. Not marginally, it's significant. But he's still not a great 3-point shooter. He's a 33% 3-point shooter this year. But he's fit into the puzzle now. And, that's a guy who can make plays off script. So I don't know, man. There still might be something special here yet. And that is all the credit in the world to Coach Mack, who, once again, we do this with them every single year. Every single year.
Seemed like all hope was lost in December, and part of that was the way they played. Part of that was a really tough schedule.
Yeah, like I said, I never got too low on them, but I know what the noise was. I know how people were thinking about them, and and you can even feel that sometimes when you walk into the arena.
I bet
there has been times where I walked in there this year, not the Kansas game, obviously, because that was a little bit of a different animal. But there, most of the home games outside of the Kansas game this year, I felt walking in just by the buzz and the energy of it, like Creighton fans didn't necessarily love the return that they were getting, or love the team and how it was like. What did we say at the beginning of the year with Nebraska football last year? It wasn't that they played well against UTEP or whatever. It felt like people liked that team.
Mm-hmm.
You always can tell if your own fan base wants to pipe up for this team. I'll stand on the line for this team. And I just haven't felt like that's happened quite yet. But maybe now it's time. What they've become, and I think what they're still becoming. Jemiah Neal talked about this, they still haven't hit the ceiling of what they can be. Mm-hmm. They're still going through that process. I feel like now people will really, and there's about to be some big home games with a lot of crap on the line here in the next 2 weeks. Huge stuff. They got a legit chance to win this freaking conference, and that's crazy. Marquette is really good. Nobody's like I think Marquette's the best team in the league, or St. John's. Creighton beat them already at home, right? But so like I'm not trying to tell you that they're the best team in the league right now, but I do think they have a chance to win the conference. And that's crazy.
If you start rounding, they've rounded into form. Now, if you can start maximizing your potential, playing your best ball when it matters most, February and March.
Yep.
Anything can happen.
Let's go to some comments here.
Okay.
Mike says this is definitely one of Mac's best coaching jobs. Yeah, I think so too. But I just feel like he does this. This happens every year. They do this every year. Mike says if CU can avoid the 8-9 game, they could be a Sweet 16 game. And Kenneth says I was hoping that CU would sneak in to like an 11 or 12 seed and catch the 5 or 6 off guard.
Yeah, it was just a couple weeks ago.
People are definitely playing the seeding game at this moment.
Just a couple weeks ago, the bracketologies had them in one of those 11 seed play-in games, and now they're playing up to, I think they were an 8 last time I looked, and new round coming out probably, tomorrow, probably?
Yeah. They're 14-6 right now. They have a really good win at home against Kansas. They have really good wins against St. John's and UConn, although the UConn one doesn't look quite as good.
Yeah, ranked 25th in the new AP poll.
So there's still plenty of meat left on the bone with Marquette and UConn both and coming to town, and you make the trip out to St. John's as well, and you have a trip at Xavier. Like there's still a whole bunch of wins that you can get out there, but they could be a 6.
That would be ideal.
I don't know if I'd expect it at this point,
right?
But they could be that. I just don't know. Like when you're talking about what the ceiling is, I just think it's probably best with Creighton, as long as that guy is coaching them, to not put a ceiling on what they could do or how much better they can get throughout the season. Because we've been proven wrong on that a lot.
When will I learn?
A lot. I don't know. Maybe we all should at some point.
Even the
settle down, trust the process. We looked at the team at the beginning of it. We're like, I don't know if the pieces make sense. That was the big complaint, is like they just have a bunch of pieces, and I just don't know what they are all supposed to do together.
They're not a let it fly team. They're not a
work
grind
it
down
out.
low to the big guy team.
Yeah. What are they? Well, they found out.
Even the first 12 minutes of the game Saturday, I was like, I don't know what this looks like. This is weird.
Yeah, that was weird. That was a weird start to the game, no doubt, on Saturday. All right. Any thoughts on that? We'll take them. 951-1620. You can also tweet at Happer Show, at Connor Happer. We'll be back after this on 1620 The Zone. All right, we will. Just give us a second. I do want to talk about Nebrasketball. What has gone on with them?
Why?
We'll just mention it. Okay. And then henceforth, we probably don't need to like get super jacked about. I mean, they play Thursday against Illinois. I mean, how do you have like a double must win? It's like a must win. You got to win like 6 of the Illinois games.
You got to win that game twice.
Yeah. So give us a second. But we have to mention this because it's so funny. We love laughing at people on the show. We love laughing at bad people.
Yeah.
You know what a bad guy is, Josh? Dan Snyder.
Oh, yeah. That guy's bad. That guy's a monster.
He was a monster, and he was the owner of the Washington Football Commanders for a very long time, since 1999. He sold the team begrudgingly, as we'll discuss. There was an article that was written by Seth Wickersham and Don Van Natta Jr. on ESPN.com. That get your attention there, Josh? I don't know who that guy is either. I just know when I see a Wickersham story, I'm like, okay.
Long read.
I guess I'll jump in for this long read, right? So Dan is, he spends most of his time in London now. He's fled the country.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yep. And wouldn't you know it, the Washington Football Commanders, the team he used to own, are now good. Not in the Josh Hodgson Nebrasketball good way, but they're good. They went to the NFC Championship game. So, bunch of stories in here. But the headline grabber at the start is, what's it like for Snyder, for years the most hated owner in sports, to watch the Commanders succeed without him? Quote, he bleeping hates it. Snyder's dinner companion told the colleague. They recant the story about how they were at dinner in London.
His dinner companion.
One of his dinner companions. Neither Snyder nor any of his representatives responded to interview requests from ESPN. But according to league sources, team owners, sports executives, lawyers, and others with knowledge of his current status, some of whom requested anonymity to discuss sensitive legal matters, Snyder has recast much of his life since he sold the Commanders under duress 19 months ago.
Under duress.
He's mostly lived in London, often surrounded by a security detail, or spent time on his super yacht. He's trying to sell his remaining U.S. real estate holdings and decided to give away a $35 million estate to the American Cancer Society after it sat unsold for months. He just gave a house to the American Cancer Society.
It can be a Hope Lodge.
There you go. Any business he conducts is now from the UK, where sources with firsthand knowledge say he has expressed interest in buying into a Premier League soccer club, although others who know him well doubt Snyder will ever own any professional sports teams again.
Yeah, he keeps saying he's gonna, but I don't think he's gonna.
What little remains for him in the United States includes a tangle of unresolved legal issues and the thoughts of what might have been had he had never sold the team. He never wanted to sell. And even so they tell the story about how he basically set the price at $6 billion for the Commanders with the understanding that nobody would try to buy a team for $6 billion. He purposefully set a minimum price of $6 billion for the Commanders, knowing that few people, even among the ultra-rich, could afford the price tag. Despite Snyder's resistance, the sale process moved ahead, with Josh Harris, the new owner, his group, barely clearing the asking price. He needed to recruit approximately 20 limited partners. The sale was approved, and even then, the NFL gave Dan Snyder another reason to be mad, fining him a record $60 million on the way out, which further triggered Dan Snyder and said, quote, there's no way I'm paying. This is what Snyder told confidants about the league fine. So much so that he didn't want to sell the team at all. But of course, it was a formality at that point. Confidants around him said Snyder said, I don't want to do this. A rally celebrating Harris's ownership group was scheduled for later that day at the since renamed FedEx Field. But as 1 a.m. became 2 a.m., the morning before, Snyder was refusing to hand over the stadium keys. Quote, "I don't care," Snyder said, according to sources with direct knowledge of what transpired in those hours. "It would be trespassing if anyone goes there. It's still mine."
I did see that quote yesterday. Someone must have screenshotted that section and sent it out. It's my stadium. I have the keys.
I have the keys. If anybody goes in there, it's trespassing. He has continued to be more and more angry, and it has angered him further that the Commanders have become good during this period of time. He doesn't watch the team, but he is aware of them winning. There was a couple more that I had written down here. He's trying to buy the soccer team, and people have described it as a, quote, if he does it, an act of redemption. Maybe he could prove people wrong by getting a Premier League team. He could reinvent himself there because he can't do it here. He literally can't.
It could be like they could do like a Welcome to Wrexham show, but it's Dan Snyder as the owner.
And it would be horrendous.
It would.
They would be so bad.
Hey, what if we had clear steps so we could see up the ladies' skirts? No, Dan, no.
Like,
you sure? This is Europe.
The stories that have been told of him being just a complete, first of all, jackwagon, very mean to the people who work for him, and like a horrible sports owner. Like, maybe you could get away with being a jerk, but be a good owner.
Yeah.
Didn't have any of those things, and yet owned the Washington Football Commanders for multiple decades.
I love the quotes coming out from the story. It isn't, well, no, you see, everyone has it all wrong. Here's what I was trying to do. That's why they're trying to take the team away from me. No, it's just him being a petulant child and saying, no, I don't want to do this. No, don't make me do this.
Even the former team employees who accused Snyder of fostering a toxic workplace have joined in, starting a text chain to discuss the turnaround with each other. Quote, "Karma is real," said Melanie Coburn, the former team cheerleader and marketing director who testified about the team to Congress. "For years, we endured the dysfunction and toxicity at the organization under Dan Snyder, and we blamed all the losses on the dark cloud he brought over the team. Turns out we were right." Snyder, his outlook has evolved. There's still anger, and he remains in denial about what led to his ousting, said a person close to his inner circle. But there's also something else, quote, "sadness for himself," that person said. "It's killing him. It's devastating for him." It's beautiful.
I would have made it all worthwhile if the Commanders wouldn't have lost yesterday. Let's put it that way.
Honestly, yeah, this is a team worth rooting for now, all at the expense of Dan Snyder. It's beautiful. Never have I been happier to see a guy be so sad. I usually want the best for people, and I want redemption stories. This guy doesn't seem interested in any of that. He seems like he's mad that the world has not continued to let him be a monster, and he has no remorse for anything. And so I want this guy to be sad.
I like that Seth Wickersham said, "This is a story worth telling."
Thank you, Seth Wickersham. It's appreciated.
I know normally he deep dives into the New England Patriots inner workings, but I'm glad he stepped aside.
Let's take a look at Nebraska basketball, Josh.
Okay. We were having a good show.
Remember when they were 12-2 and they had beaten UCLA? And
I do remember this.
Everybody had made the prediction. They were like, this is the year.
This is the year.
This is happening.
They're good.
Well, since that day on Saturday, January 4th, the Huskers haven't won. That's right.
That was 23 days ago.
Yeah. If they lose on Thursday to Illinois, they will have won but one game in the month of January. And it would have been on the 4th. They are 0-6 since then. They collapsed in the second half against Iowa in overtime. They were bludgeoned by Purdue. They were beat on their home floor by a couple of talented top 5 draft picks in Rutgers. They fought valiantly at Maryland and lost. They lost at home against USC because of a lack of attention to detail and potentially effort. And they were smacked upside the head in Madison, Wisconsin on Sunday, losing 83-55, being down. I was sitting tableside at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Somebody had made me aware that they were playing. I forgot that they started at noon. And they were like, hey, 19-2. And I was like, what? Is it the score of the Eagles game? I don't think that had started yet. No. Nebraska's down 19-2 already. And I go, oh no.
I had a similar experience.
19-2.
I saw Scribe covering the game, and they tweeted out 16-2, and I said, "Oh my gosh, that's a very unfortunate typo. Clearly, he meant 16-12. Who would be down 16-2 in a basketball game? Surely, at some point, you would go, okay, nothing else matters. Just work the ball down to the block and get a layup. Surely, that would be very easy to do."
So on KenPom, they have the offensive rating thing, as I've talked about before. 100 is average. Berke Buchtengel, 67. Once again,
above average.
That's
below, better.
No. 67 is less than 100, Josh.
I didn't know if it was going up or down.
Jawan Gary, 50.
Ooh.
Bryce Williams, 68.
These are the ball shooters for the Nebraska basketball team. Okay.
Sam Hoiberg, 145.
That's your guy.
Yeah. So they mess with their starting lineup. They're grasping at straws. I don't know what they're doing. I still think at point guard, they don't have a great point guard. I still think Worcester is their best option. But one of the tinkerings that you did was take him out of the starting lineup and move some other pieces around. Bryce Williams is having a very rough go right now. He went 4 of 12. 4 of 12 on Saturday. Missed a free throw, had 4 turnovers. It's not like a horrible day from the field, but it just doesn't feel right with Bryce right now. And they lack a lot on the defensive end. If they don't have the teeth that they show they showed in the Creighton game or in the UCLA game, like if they don't have that teeth on defense, they can't win. Because they don't have enough to make up for it on the offensive end, especially when they're this disjointed. Gary still shot 5 threes and missed all but 1. Berke, I just never know. Like I don't know what that guy's doing. That was a weird take, honestly, out of the transfer portal at this point. Like I could see like where you get the idea of the talent from him, but I don't know. He seems out of shape, and it doesn't seem like he really wants to go along with what they're doing. I'm not sure.
They got canceled, and it clearly affected them mentally.
Yeah, they are.
I clearly broke this team.
They are in a bad way right now. And then to make matters worse, on the other side, playing for Wisconsin, a team that you already have a general distaste for, they have a player by the name of John Tanji, whose hometown is, guess what? Omaha.
Oh, that's in Nebraska.
Yes. He went to high school just down the street, Josh, at Omaha Central.
Oh.
He had a nice dunk. People enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
He had 27 points on Saturday. It feels like there's always that sort of twinge to it.
The last 2 games, there has been a former Nebraskan.
Yep. You got Millard North and Omaha Central dunking all over you. You're in a bad way right now.
Well, you got a very good Illinois team coming to town this week. Surely that will turn everything around.
Baptism by Fire writes in, oh, you're talking about Omaha, Texas? Yep, Omaha, Nebraska.
That game at Washington on the 5th is very interesting as well.
Oh, they're all
on
the table.
Those are the
we are
bottom two in the conference.
I don't know when it was last week. I guess it was before it was probably before the USC game. We were like, yeah, I just don't know if I'm like totally off the train on them yet. Like I'm not ready quite yet to entertain the conversation of, oh, they're going to miss the Big Ten tournament.
Mhm.
I am now ready to entertain that conversation.
They really had to have.
It just doesn't look right.
Won one of the Maryland or USC games.
And even when it does look right, their margin for error is still really thin. But it doesn't look right now. They're not getting what they should be out of the group that they have. I think this is a dangerous phrase to throw out there. And it's bad. When it's bad, it's bad, Josh. But I think I think they're kind of front runners a little bit. Yeah. When things go wrong for them, I don't like how they respond. I don't like their body language.
Right.
It's all screwed up. When things are going well, I mean, it's a lot of fun. And they're rolling. They're 12-2. They won the thing in Hawaii. Right? Like you could forget about the bludgeoning that Michigan State put on you. Like whatever.
Yeah.
It's water under the bridge at this point.
They always do that once a year,
Yeah,
right?
They won 6 in a row, and you're like, wow, I kind of like. I love the heart, effort, intensity, whatever, everything like that this group has. When it has not gone well, they have not responded.
They don't like move the ball around very well at all. They're like not a lot of assists week in, week out. Like
not good.
It just doesn't.
Not good. Not good. John writes in, he has a take.
Oh, hi, John.
There is one reason and only one reason why Nebraska basketball is losing. They are a bad team from top to bottom. Interesting analysis by John.
Interesting.
An analysis that I don't agree with. I don't think they're bad. I think they're a lot worse than they're showing right now. I think they're flawed, but they shouldn't be this way.
And
they should not be as bad as they are at this moment.
And now if it hasn't happened already, now you're at the point like, okay, are they going to mentally check out?
Right. Jeff writes in.
Hi, Jeff.
Says there's too much joy in your tone. Ooh. I have no joy in my tone.
This is Mudville, baby. No joy here.
No, this is very sad. I do not like how this is going for them right now. It's sad to talk about them. It's not fun to call people out and say they should be better.
We were having a fun show.
Now we had to talk about Nebraska basketball. Sad.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, another texter writes in and says Nebraska basketball should be eliminated in favor of a hockey team.
We got a fine hockey team here in the state already. They've won 6 in a row. Weekend sweep of number 17 St. Cloud State.
People want a Nebraska hockey team, the Huskers, Josh. They want to replace them with the basketball team.
Why fight it?
Yeah, we got Maverick Mojo already.
We got the mojo.
All right, we're back. We'll get you the polls. We'll tell you what to watch next on 1620 The Zone. Wow, people really think that I'm enjoying Nebraska basketball's tailspin. I'm not. I'm serious. Don't josh me where Josh says the word good and people think he's not saying good anymore. I'm being dead serious. Josh, tell them. Tell them. I am not enjoying this.
Connor is offended by the insinuation that he's enjoying the fall of Nebrasketball.
That's right.
I, on the other hand, am enjoying the fall of Nebrasketball.
Yeah, see, don't get it confused. Yeah. You're confusing me with Josh.
How do you get down 19-2?
Oh, it's not good.
Bunch of losers.
It's not enjoyable.
Just get a bucket. Just stop the bleeding.
They can't. All right, to the polls.
Knock someone on their butt.
To the polls at Happer Show. Justice for the trash cans, ? Yeah, they're going to see. Omaha's going to see some Summit League fines at the end of the year.
No.
They're going to pull out a class action lawsuit on them.
Bleep those trash cans. They had it coming.
I just wonder, every time I see one of those trash cans get destroyed, they always say when you go into the opposing locker rooms, they're like, leave it in better shape than when you found it.
We want to thank this team who came into our locker room.
Omaha's like, no, we're screwing up.
Clean.
We're screwing up everything. We were breaking your trash cans. Yes, justice for the trash cans. 51% say no. Did the Chiefs lead the league in stick-to-itiveness? Yeah.
I think that's pretty clear. Yeah.
82% say yes. Do you believe in Pluto?
Most voted on poll question of the day.
Yeah, I'd like to include Pluto in my planet conversations.
I do as well.
86% say yes. And finally, is the library the last bastion of the honor system? I think we have golf.
Okay, yeah.
Although some people fake hole-in-ones.
Whoa.
And call it into the newspaper.
I would never.
Yeah, I'll say yes. 83% say yes, the library is the last bastion of the honor system. Those are the polls. Josh, what are we watching tonight?
We got men's basketball on BTN at 5:30. Michigan hosts Penn State. Iowa at Ohio State, 7 o'clock on FS1. And Big Monday on ESPN. 9:30 start between number 3 Iowa State. They're out in the desert to take on the Wildcats of Arizona. I watched Speed this weekend.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Josh. Any reports?
Still great.
Yeah.
Boog Shambi on the call for Big Monday on ESPN tonight.
Boog.
ESPN 2, women's basketball, 6 o'clock tip. Number 2, South Carolina on the road at number 17, Tennessee. NBA doubleheader on NBA TV tonight, 6 o'clock tip between the Pistons and the Cavs, followed by Clippers Suns. NHL Network has hockey between the Kings and the Red Wings at 6 o'clock. At that same time on local WOWT, Channel 6, the Jeopardy Tournament of Champions begins.
Here we go, tournaments again.
Oh, we've been in tournament season. This is the Tournament of
I
Champions.
fell off. I fell off. I know you're loyal. I fell off.
18 contestants vie for the title of season 40 champion over the course of the next 3 weeks. Wow. Should be a good one. And at 7 on NBC, ladies and gentlemen, 50 years of SNL music. The 3-hour documentary revisits culture-defining and news-making musical performances. Talking heads include Bad Bunny, Elvis Costello, Miley Cyrus, Billie Eilish, Phineas, because of course.
Who's Phineas?
That's Billie Eilish's brother who does all the work for her.
What? Really? Billie Eilish has a ghostwriter?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what her brother does.
No kidding.
Dave Grohl, Debbie Harry, Mick Jagger, Dua Lipa, DMC from Run DMC, Casey Musgraves, Olivia Rodrigo, who has a lot of life perspective, Paul Simon, Chris Stapleton, Justin Timberlake, and Jack White.
Yeah, you got to get JT.
Yeah.
That show, you can't do that show without JT.
The Barry Gibb stuff, the Bring It On Down to Omelet. On the Barry Gibb Talk Show, Crazy Cool Medallions.
Josh, thank you.
Thank you, Colin.
We'll end the show on that. That is it for us today. If you missed anything, you can find it all on our website, 1620thezone.com. The crossover is next.